the 10th floor. Hey, it's me, Matt.
Hey, everybody, it's Kat.
Hi, hi, hi. Hello, hello. Hey, hi, hello, hi,
Hey
hello.
there.
I'm shaking everybody's hand as they leave the waiting room and the bagels behind. As they leave their coffee. Well, they got their coffee cups, coffee mugs,
hmm
and they're climbing
Yeah.
on in the elevator with us as we ascend to the 10th floor to talk about this week's General Hospital. But it's not just us. It's not just Matt and Kat. We got the chat as well, including
Who's there, Matt? Who's there?
Chandra. Hi, Chandra. Carolyn,
I,
hello. Carolyn is here. Rochelle, hello, Rochelle. Kelly back with us once again. And Lee, hello. And Lee and Sandra. Hi, Sandra.
hey, Lee and Sandra.
Hey, Kelly shares it's almost summer, and you know what that means, Ma. Whoa, 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 wipe out. It's almost time for the pool.
Oh, my pool's open.
Well, I actually saw some pictures of some, I saw some pictures online of your pool, of course,
hmm
and three friends swimming and having a great time,
Yes.
cousins and besties,
Yep.
as the pool in Ma's backyard is open. But I saw some pictures of Maxie and a potentially Sora's Bailey Lou having a conversation poolside coming up soon.
Really?
Yes, so
Because, this past week, there were some lovely Maxie and Spinelli moments with the
yes,
kids there, and we got old Georgie back that looks so much like Aunt Georgie.
yes.
Yes. And I thought to myself, poor Wheezy. Poor Wheezy.
Poor
What? They
Wheezy.
just
Poor Wheezy doesn't have to wait very long.
poor Wheezy. That poor child. They left her upstairs again.
There
That's what
was
I said.
James, there was Georgie, there was everybody, but Bailey Lou for the longest time because she was busy growing. She was eating, she was pooping, she was sleeping is what she was doing. And old Wheezy Phase on finally coming downstairs. It seems coming up very soon when the Metro Court pool opens. We're gonna have Maxie and so the picture was Maxie and then the back of a child
Okay.
of like a I don't know 4 year old.
hmm
And the
But
caption was Maxie poolside is talking to her daughter, or something of the like. So really, the only character that could possibly be is an aged up Wheezy.
it has to be Wheezy Faison, huh? That
Mm-hmm.
can't be because it
Up to
can't
no
be
good.
Georgie. Georgie is about to be a teenager.
And we would have recognized the back of Georgie's head.
Yes.
And it was not this little girl.
Well, that's good because I was starting to worry about her welfare.
Yeah, right. They just forgot about her. Hello, Melissa. Hello, Rochelle. Hello, Mary. Hi. Welcome to the show. Elevator
Hi, you
still
guys.
ascending to the 10th floor.
Yep.
Oh, Kelly sharing some emojis. And what are those?
But
It's
so we
either
did
it's
it.
either pink poop or strawberry ice cream. One of the two. Two. I don't know.
We didn't get to see Wheezy
No.
Bailey Lou last week. We
No.
didn't get to see her, but we did see her mama.
She was not at the wedding.
No, she wasn't. And you know what? Kirsten looks so good.
Right? So she had that interview that she did recently. I don't know what publication it was or if it was a State of Mind or something. But she talked about, the status of her life and the trouble she's been going through over the last couple of years and how she's gotten past it. And you can see it. You can see it in, I guess the deal that she has is she's responsible for, the look of Maxie, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see how there's been a massive turn of the corner, you could say,
Mm-hmm.
where like clearly Kristen Storms is not being distracted by whatever else might be going on in life and not just putting a clip in the hair and a sweater on and getting to work,
Right.
getting through it so she can go back and battle whatever it is that she had been handling.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Clearly turned a corner. You talked about prednisone and all sorts of different medications that could, it cause physical changes in somebody's body.
Yes,
And it looks as though she is off of that regimen.
she does.
So, more power to Kristen Storms. I'm glad that she was able to stick with GH the whole time. I'm glad that GH was
Me
able to
too.
stick with her the whole time.
Me too.
For anybody that's out there detracting, saying, oh my God, it's a Wild West environment. Nobody gets along. Everybody's fighting. They're all backstabbing each other trying to get ahead. Then you take a look at sequences and situations like that. I mean, what's true here? What you're seeing or the rumor mill that won't stop?
Yeah. You know, Prospect Park has been through a lot of stuff
It sure
in the
has.
last couple of years. And the most recent one is pretty recent.
Yeah,
Um,
last week.
Last week, I can't imagine what how that cast and crew has gone through, and that's got to it has to manifest something good. It
Yeah,
has to.
I agree entirely. It has to. It has to.
It has to.
And speaking of that, it's a good segue into the fact that it is Johnny Wactor month here on the 10th floor, dedicating all 4 weeks, all 4 Sundays and beyond. If we do skinny dips and stuff, it'll be dedicated to Johnny Wactor as well. It was, we talked about it a little bit on Days for Dummies. So if you're not a watcher of that podcast, you can tune in every Sunday at 9 a.m. for that, where we talked about this a little bit, but we'll bring it up again. Um, I'm sure the vast majority of people know, but if you don't know and only get your, soap media from 10th floor, here it is. Last week, Johnny Wactor was shot and killed in downtown Los Angeles at about 3 in the morning, leaving work with a coworker, escorting her to her car as he did nightly, as
Right.
that whole bar did nightly. They didn't travel alone. So Johnny and his coworker headed out to the car, and then they spotted somebody doing something to Johnny's car out there. At first, they thought he was being towed, and when they approached, they realized that that wasn't the case. It looked like they were trying to steal something from the car. And when Johnny questioned, "Hey, what's going on here?" He instinctively, I will say, I wasn't there, I can't say for a fact, stepped between these ne'er-do-wells and his coworker that he was escorting. They immediately turned around, shot him, ran off, and he died shortly later. I can only take that sequence of events as one terrible tragedy and a horrendous loss of life that shouldn't happen. But secondly, just the instinctual nature of putting yourself between potential danger and another person, I think, is as a final act of somebody's life, is not something that needs to be said, "Oh, wow, what an interesting tidbit." I think that needs to be focused on and honored and respected and really highlighted. That he potentially, in his very last act in his life, was like Brando Corbin, who did the very
Yes.
same thing, essentially,
Yes.
putting himself between danger and Jocelyn. Johnny Wactor doing the same thing, between danger and
Yes.
his coworker, and he didn't make it.
Coworker. And you guys, we've said before that um, the myth that everybody in Hollywood is rich is indeed a myth. Most actors are just getting by. Johnny was at his side hustle.
Yeah,
His second job,
yeah. He's
because
doing what he needs to do to pay his bills so he can stay
right.
available for acting.
Exactly. And so many of our folks in Hollywood, cast and crew, have a side hustle to make ends meet. Because, like I said, this lavish lifestyle of Hollywood is largely a myth.
Yeah,
There
I
are
mean,
a few,
it's a
yes,
small percentage up at the very top, and it's the people
yes,
that every single person knows. If there's an actor that
yes.
you love and you follow, and every single person you talk to doesn't know who that person is, they're not, living their multi-million-dollar mansion lives. The reason why Dr. Phil is that multi-millionaire with the house on the Hollywood tour and all that kind of stuff is because everybody knows the name of Dr. Phil. you
Hmm.
know? But if
Yeah.
you're Johnny Wachter, if you're Kirsten Storms, even if you're Maurice Bernard, not everybody knows those names, so you are not the multimillionaire that it might be assumed.
Now, of course, we can take it for granted to certain degree that Maurice Bernard and Laura Wright
They're
and Steve
fine.
Burton, they're fine. They're probably making pretty good money. But like I said, the majority of Hollywood needs a side hustle
Hmm.
to keep going.
Right, right. I mean, even you can even see on the cast, Donnell Turner and Taj Bella. They both went to L.A. Film School or graduates of L.A. Film School.
Mhm.
It wasn't for acting. So that means that they have ambition in their eyes and their sights on things that are outside of the current job that they have, maybe to supplement what it is that they're doing on GH or to keep career options open because that's really how it is as an actor. But
Mhm.
yeah, in conclusion, just to wrap that up, rest in peace, Johnny. Much love to his friends, family, and loved ones that knew him. The Twitter account too, the Johnny Wactor Twitter account, his main fan page, not his personal one, but his main fan page. They knew him personally. We're good friends with him, and so it's a big loss for a lot of people. There's been a lot of reaction out there as well on Instagram, mostly because the actors stay away from Twitter. But if you're following the actors on Instagram, a lot of them have posted up memories and pictures and pleasant words. The vast majority of the cast had wonderful things to say, even people who didn't share scenes with him, even people who didn't have any time on set with him. Maybe just interacting backstage or just hearing about people who interacted with him. And then you'll also find out things that you didn't know, like, for example, Taj Bello and Johnny Wactor, very, very close friends. You know, I mean, they must have met. I mean, if I can extrapolate, I'm not there. I don't know these people. If I can extrapolate, they must have bonded and met during that whole Molly situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where TJ was missing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they had a little scuffle, little fights, little antagonism, little scenes where they were trying to kind of work out this weird growing friendship with this strange secret and truth that was looming on everything.
Yes.
But you fast forward, you know, a few years later, they were close friends, mountain climbing together, long hikes, all that sort of stuff, you know, and
But Johnny was really into mountain climbing and you know, that kind of stuff. And extremely fit too.
yeah.
Extremely fit, very capable, very capable. That probably was part of the reason why he wasn't scared that night. He didn't appear to be scared. He appeared to be his normal self, like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
That
kind of
is,
thing.
you know, there's so you know, I don't have the quotes in front of me, and you know, like I say, you know, we're not the news. Don't come to us for the news, and so as such, I don't have direct quotes and you know links and stuff to share. I'll just encourage you all to go out there and find the articles that do exist on TMZ and on Dateline or whatever it is, or Deadbeat or whatever it is, Billboard. I don't know, whatever website it is. There's a lot of information out there because the coworker has made statements, Johnny's family has made statements. The full story is out there when it comes to all sorts of different
Yes.
perspectives and what really went on and what Johnny was like in life.
And if you want to see and maybe some of you have already watched it, as I have, in the past, look up his episode with Stephen Bradford. You know, he
Kelly
has
just
an
mentioned
episode.
that right now in the
Yeah.
chat, saying that Stephen Bradford recently put it back up, so it's easy to find their
Yes.
time with that.
Yes.
Good,
And
good,
he
good
talks
show.
about his childhood and his family and his interests and all that stuff.
Yeah,
It's quite good.
it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Kelly says that the week before Johnny was killed, she was hoping that he could return as Brando alive because Port Charles is so known for characters coming back from the dead. That just won't happen now, and it's true. I would have always been completely on board for oh, by the way, we Heather stuck Brando in the closet and he's okay there at the end. But yeah, no,
Hmm.
it did, you know, when it comes down to it, since Brando himself was not intrinsically tied to the core of the cast, he's not Nicholas, you know, for example. Um, you know, there's really no real need or path for them to bring the
And
character
and
of
and
Brando
Bonnie
back.
Barrows isn't on the show anymore either.
Yeah, like the only tie would be to mix things up with Sasha, you know, and at that point you can just introduce a new character that she thinks is cute to create some tension with Cody. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a recast Brando. So, you know, we could probably call that done for Brando as a character as well. Um but at the same time, I loved Brando. Brando's arc was great.
It was.
And ultimately, yeah, he did pass away because of the hook killer, because of Heather and all that sort of stuff. Um, but you know, with the fact that GH is only 5 weeks or so ahead when it comes to shooting schedule, who knows what they can tweak here and there when it comes to the lines, when it comes to the details of the scenes that include Heather and Laura.
Hmm.
You know, maybe there can be some sort of renewed reaction to Brando's life and legacy as sort of a way to honor him on the show
Yes. I
in
hope so.
some way. You know, I don't know, justice for Brando, hashtag also justice for Johnny. Oh,
One of my favorite scenes of Sasha and Brando is their Titanic scene at the garage.
yes, isn't that what a great way to launch that relationship, right? Because they were building up that tension because they were working in the garage together. And I
Mhm.
love, I'll just call her tomboy Sasha because I really don't know another appropriate word. But hyper capable Sasha, the Sasha who can do it all, the Sasha who is As, oh, well, I've traveled everywhere. I've actually done everything. My dad taught me everything from guns to cars to digging ditches, you know? Like,
My grandma made me a great cook, and my dad made me multi-talented.
yeah, multifaceted in many ways, shapes, or form. I only had brothers. They're all not with us anymore, but I only had brothers, you know? Whatever it might be. But that was sort of like the grease monkey, like the first introduction of something that was not
Yes.
as soft when it comes
Yeah.
to the Sasha character.
I tell you what's wrong with your spark plug. It's not gapped properly.
There you go. These pre-gap spark plugs, you can't trust them. You gotta measure them yourself. So in any case, yes, I love. Yeah, that was a great way to launch that relationship, and it was just a great nod to what a classic scene too from an unforgettable movie that we recognize. That
Mm-hmm.
maybe people who were drawn in by Sprina might not necessarily know the reference to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, Titanic, that's 96, right? 96,
Right,
97.
right,
Two
right.
VHS sized home release. You know, now people are just streaming things on the internet and they don't have to download nothing.
Exactly.
So yeah, I don't know if the youngins would necessarily catch that reference.
I think I used to have that too,
Oh, you
VHS.
did. That's why I know it's two VHSs. That's why I
In fact,
know.
I might even still have it somewhere. Who knows?
Oh gosh, Ma, you got to put that up on your Poshmark store.
I know. Actually, I look around this house sometimes like, why haven't I sold that?
I saw you put up one of my wrestling figures. I saw Ted DiBiase up there, $1 Million Man. Little worn
He's
out
still
knuckles
for
from
sale.
his action punch.
Yes. Complete with the suitcase and
With the
everything.
suitcase, what with the $1 Million belt? No, or just the suitcase?
It's just the
Just the
suitcase.
suitcase, but complete with the suitcase though, folks.
Mhm.
If you got people who, one, like wrestling, two, like old wrestling, three, like old wrestling action figures, four, like restoring old wrestling action figures, then this is the deal for you. Check it out.
I got a whole bag full of those dang things. They're not all listed.
Hi, Victoria. Victoria's here. Who else joined us? Cindis. I don't know if I read your name before, but hi, Cindis.
So I think the
It's
names.
hard for me to remember sometimes. Melissa, of course. Hi, hi, hi. Victoria, Carly, and Jack. Not very good match as a couple. Puke, puke, puke.
Harley and Jack.
Carly and
I'm
Jack.
feeling, you know what? I'm feeling that too. I don't like him. I don't like him. He does not belong with our Carly. He does not. And I know that some people like dig his accent and find him attractive. I don't.
Right.
I do not.
You're not a Charles Measure guy, huh?
Actually, they can take him and Jagger, put them in a canoe and push them offshore. That's fine with
Wow,
me.
you don't like either one of them, huh?
No, not really. I'm not a Jagger fan either.
Mother.
Not crazy about Jagger.
That's not a Hulk
And,
Hogan
and
needs to do a Crimson spread. What? Sorry. It's a
not
Melissa
crazy.
contribution.
Not crazy about either one of them.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, I like so if say you're in that action movie situation, right?
John Jagger, Jack and John and Jack. John Jagger, Jack and Jack. Get out.
You're such a dork, mom. Oh my god. So you put me in that action movie scenario where you're on top of a building and you got a gun, right? And you got to choose, the good son type of situation. Is it going to be Frodo Baggins or is it going to be Macaulay Culkin? Like which one am I going to pick, right? Uh, so I got Jagger on one side and I got John on this side, right? Or Jack on this side, Jagger over here. I'm shooting Jagger, man. I'm gonna pick Jack over Jagger. It's just me.
I
Though.
think
It's
you're
just my opinion. I just pick, just when it comes to ooh, look at this person that's on my screen, and not from a ooh, he's beautiful standpoint, but from I am more engaged with the performance and character interpretation of this actor from the nerdy standpoint that I always take when I watch a stupid soap opera in the daytime. Then I'm picking Jack. I'm picking Jack over Jack.
So, what do you think Jack's purpose of stabbing himself and getting over there at GH is? What's his purpose?
Ooh, I think that Jagger's got it on the pulse there when it comes to talking to him about it, because he was all like, "So you're waiting for something, buddy? You're sitting here and you're waiting for somebody to come by and tell you something that it's easier for you to find out in this bed than in prison." So I think that's the main thing. I think whatever's going on with Valentine next week needs to be reported to Jack before he's taken back to Pentonville.
Mhm.
That's what I think.
Okay,
That's what I
okay,
think.
because
That's all.
Valentine did take over Peckman when he was
Yes.
the
Well,
jailhouse.
he's operating it, but I guess Jack is supposed to be the real head of
Right.
it. But Valentine sort of slid into his place while Jack has been indisposed. I don't know. It's a little complicated, but I think we're getting to a point of flushing it out and getting to some sort of real forward momentum with it. And
And what I don't what I don't understand. Why does Carly keep on bringing her butt over to the hospital to see him?
because, I mean, listen, are they hot or humid? I'm going to call them cold. I'm not interested necessarily, like you, when it comes to any sort of romantic pairing when it comes to them. But I'm going to raise my chair some. There we go. I'm going to fill this frame a little better. I'm not necessarily interested in a romantic pairing because I enjoy their little like light but still antagonistic energy that they have with each other. They're fighting with each other. It's just not you're a B word and you're a B word and you're a B word and you're a B word.
Right. I think I would love to see Jack and Carly with a relationship that is just a ruse on Carly's end.
Just to try to flesh out some information from him. I mean, maybe that's the direction that we'll go in because here's the
Mhm.
thing, Ma. All right. So, what I implore people who are watching GH right now to do is to remain patient and just continue to watch and consume the show as it's being presented. Because we're seeing time and time and time again, they're setting something up like Ava is the one that sent in Alexis, right? That reported on Alexis, that signed the document that got Alexis, tried for and disbarred.
Yes.
And for 3 or 4 days, we don't know why. We just know who. We just know who. You
Mhm.
know. And then here
Yeah.
we go. This week we found out more information. Fergus is a little more involved than we originally found out. He reached out
Mhm.
to her. She confirmed and la 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 la. However, worked out.
And what does that fool think he is walking up to her with her and interrupting her novel and her salad
You know, he's just
to
a
antagonize
jerk.
her?
He's just a jerk.
He is a jerk.
He's a jerk. That's why they didn't talk about him before, because he's the jerk brother. We never talked about Ferguson. First of all, he's got a weird name, and two, he's a dick. So no, we don't do anything with Fergus. So so that all that to say, if
He's
you
just pissed because his mom named him Fergus.
right. So all that to say, if you're not leaping off the cliff of why would Ava ever do this? She would never do this. This makes no sense. And you just waited for the show to tell you why. That feeds into what we're talking about here. When it comes to what's going on with Jack and Carly. Because we got the thing happening with Jason getting shot right now. And here, my theory
Well,
on that, mother. My theory on that is he's gonna think Sonny did it, but it's
mhm.
really Valentina Jack that set up that hit, as previously discussed.
Yes, that's what you said to me earlier today
And as
off
Valentina
camera.
Jack talked about before.
I personally, when I watched Friday, I took it for granted, and I guess we were led to believe that actually. Um, I took it for granted that was Sonny.
Right.
I took it for granted it was Sonny, especially, because he's so off his rocker right now. And that, he made a beeline. He was over there at the Metro Court and he pretty much told Carly indirectly,
Yeah.
So but I think you're onto something, Matt. I think you're onto something. I think there's a very good chance it is, in fact, Valentine and Jack.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's very much Valentina and Jack who are doing it. Sorry, I'm still playing
And
with my new setup and my light, folks. I apologize for being so squirmy.
and um what I liked about the shootout scene is prospect of misspent a dollar. You know,
Yes.
you actually saw bullet holes and things.
Bullet holes and smokes and things that are shattering.
Yes, and
Yes.
an exploding a bag of coffee where it spills out.
Right, you gotta
So
love it. God, you gotta love it.
they did it looked less hokey than it has in past times once in a
Right.
while. I'm not saying, like the whole thing is less hokey than it used to be, but that particular scene, that action sequence, better than most.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I remember, gosh, the last big shootout was probably, I mean, the last big shootout that lands in my mind when I'm thinking about it at this very moment is the shootout with Julian in the subway. as they were chasing him down as he was trying to escape.
Mm-hmm.
And that was very, very tame. That was very much Steve Burton and Maurice Bernard behind a pillar going, bang, bang,
Uh-huh.
bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
Right? And there was no bullet holes. There was no shattering tile or anything like that. It was just a poorly staged, I'm going to shoot, shoot, hide, shoot, shoot, hide, which is
Mm-hmm.
probably more accurate to a shootout in real life, but not very
Mm-hmm.
interesting for TV.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that we got it better on this one. But I'm just, like I was, the original point, this shootout's going to lead to the confusion. And then Carly will find out, no, it wasn't Sonny. It might have actually been Jack. And then that can lead into the fake dating thing, that you were talking about. And so all of this, if you just let the story continue, if you just continue to watch it and consume it day by day and not jump off the cliff immediately with the whys and let the
Mm-hmm.
show tell you, you might be in for a lot of good fun, because I think that sounds really interesting. You don't get your Charlie right away, really, but you do, because while Carly is with Jack, of course, she's going to be reporting to Jason all the time. They're going to be working on the angles together, spending a lot of close time together, and what's going to happen? They're going to stop making out.
I sure hope not, but maybe.
You don't want Jason and Carly to make out?
Oh, I misunderstood what you were saying.
Yeah, so she's fake dating Jack. Of course, she's going to have to
Yes.
fake make out with him. But she's going to real make out with Jason while they're going over the plans.
I hope so. I hope so. I hope so. I hope, you know who I really hope so for? Angela.
Yeah.
I want Angela to be able to see her Charlie make it out.
Yes. Alternate reality Charlie on days and real life Charlie on GH. Thank you very much, Kelly, with a big donation to the super chat function, because she loves GH no matter what, and that's just her opinion. And you know what, Kelly? It's an opinion that we share here on the 10th floor. We like it no matter what, too.
Well, I love General Hospital. I watched Friday's episode again this morning, like I usually do on Sundays. I usually try to watch Friday's episode again. It was just as good as the first time I watched it.
It's
Love
rewatchable, folks.
It is rewatchable.
And look at you. You're doubling your number on Hulu. You are twice as powerful as the average viewer. Look at you. Look at you go. I'm so proud of you, Ma.
Well, I watch it and I watch it on my DVR, because I typically watch it just an hour or two after broadcast.
Uh-huh.
So I'm watching it on my DVR, and then I'm watching it on Hulu. So they double dipping on me.
Oh.
Huh.
Yes. Yeah. So you're getting the live same day if you're watching it the same day, plus the Hulu rebroadcast. So good on you, Mother. Good on you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for everything that you do and your contributions to General Hospital.
Funny.
Oh gosh. So thank you again, Kelly, for the donation in the super chat. If you too also want to donate to the show, you absolutely can through the super chat function or the super thanks button down at the bottom if you're watching this on the replay. Totally up to you. You absolutely do not have to. It is not required. We're still going to bring you the show absolutely free every Sunday, as often as we can.
Yes. And you really, if you don't want to miss anything from the 10th floor, you really, really need to subscribe.
Yeah.
Because me and Matt are going to be popping up probably on Thursday and Friday.
Oh, yes.
And we'll be in the same frame, too.
Yes, Matt and Kat in the same town together next week.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess that'll lead us into our next news break. Dun, 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 dun. Breaking news 2024. We have not been invited to the Emmys. Wah, wah, wah.
They said no thank you.
The Price is Right failure song. Bum, 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 bum. Wow.
Exactly. Yeah, they said no thank you.
They said no thank you. They said we don't have the space is really what they said. And given our experience from last year, and if they are dealing with an even shorter red carpet, which is from what I understand, they have an even shorter one. It might even be one segment between those two pillars instead of two segments.
It might be like, okay, it's your turn. It's your turn.
Super, super, super limited. And we just didn't make the cut. And I understand. Listen, if you're dealing with a space that only has like accommodation for 8 news outlets, you're picking Entertainment Tonight, you're picking Entertainment Weekly, you're picking the magazines that have, broader coverage. From our experience last year, there were a number of people that just didn't show up, even though they were approved.
Mhm.
Like for example, the people next to us, the space next
Yeah,
to us, on
yeah,
our right, not the left, but our right,
yes.
was
Didn't
empty.
show up.
I don't remember what
Good
outlet it
thing they
was.
didn't.
I don't remember what outlet it was, but
Me
they
either.
weren't there, which was
Mhm.
nice because it gave us a little more elbow room that we might have normally had. And then the people to our left was really only interested in a very small section of the people that was walking down the red carpet.
Mhm.
So they were really only aiming for just, I want to say maybe 5 people at the most,
Mhm. Mhm.
that they could get. And so most of the time was just kind of them being there, which again worked in our favor because we had a little more elbow room when it came
We
to the
did.
interviews that we wanted to do with Tabiana Ali's up there, and we got
Mhm.
Drake Hogeston and the
Mhm.
crew from Days. Great time. Really worked
Mhm.
out in our favor. But
Mhm.
given the no shows,
Mhm.
given the small amount of space, given the general negative reaction that the Emmys got from the majority of people that were there due to the difference in Emmys past versus what they experienced this time, I kind of get it. I know that's a lot of
Yeah.
prefacing, but I get it. I get it. I get it to a degree. But we'll keep
But we'll
trying.
try again next
Yeah.
year. We'll try.
Yeah. So we'll try again next year. We'll try to get back onto the red carpet. We're not going to stop. We're not going to be undaunted. We're not even going to call this a failure because it's not. Because Matt and Kat and Daddy T are all going to be in the same place next week. So yeah, subscribe. You never know what's going to come
Yep.
up.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Hi, Victoria. I think that's the only new name in here. Daisy's here. No, Daisy. Hi, Daisy. What's
Hey
up?
guys.
What's going on? What's going on? Daisy says, let's just get Sunny and Natalia married already.
Well,
I mean, that's
I
a
just
Sunny
wondered.
move.
We're going to find out. We're going to find out going forward with Natalia. Uh, how you know, is she a little rough and tumble that we haven't seen yet? Maybe she could handle Sonny.
Yeah,
Maybe she could handle his
maybe she's
lifestyle.
from like the streets of Miami or something,
You know, because maybe like we were said before,
Hey, Melinda.
maybe there was an Alcazar connection in there. So maybe she's a little tougher than we know.
We're going to find out that she's from the mean
Oh my
streets of
God.
Miami, all right? Ducking and diving the CSI agents out there.
And I saw her in the preview too for next year. So we're next week. We're going to get a little Natalia next week.
I'm ready. I'm ready for more information about Natalia because people, a lot of fans out there are still hanging their hat on the perceived homophobia, which we disproven a couple of times here on the podcast. But a lot of people still hanging their hat on that. And so if
Mhm.
we can bring more detail to the character of Natalia, it's just going to help the general audience, or at least the audience that is still not really feeling it, have something else to sink their claws into or sink their teeth
Mhm.
into when it comes to that character. So I'm all for it. I'm all for more information. I'm all for Eloy
Me
coming
too.
to town. I'm all for more Ramirez's filling things
Yeah.
out. I'm not a loyalist. I'm not a family loyalist. I don't feel the need to have, you know, everybody be a Spencer and a Cassadine and a deeply established family.
No, no, not everybody needs to be a Quartermain either. But I'm always I want beating hearts in the house of the Quartermains.
Right.
I don't like that place when there ain't nobody in it.
We got that right now. That Quartermain house is full.
I know it's chock full of crazies.
It's
It's
just full of
lovely.
people, just full of shenanigans. We got kids, we got adults, we got horses. We even had an alpaca at one point hanging out there.
Yeah, we did.
Llamas, just a whole menagerie there on the Quartermain property. Carolyn, thank you very much, Carolyn, for your donation. Also a big donation here in the super chat function. Thank you
Thanks,
so
guys.
much. We're climbing up on subscribers too. So, continue to hit that subscribe button as we were talking about before. That function is totally free. In case you were confused, I know it's called subscribe, but it's not like subscribing to a magazine where you're going to pay $15 a month or anything like that. No. On YouTube, it's totally free. So as long as you have a YouTube account, which you do if you have a Gmail address,
Mhm.
you can just log on in and hit the subscribe button, and that helps us because the more we climb on that, the more subscribers we have, the more options it opens up for support to the show that isn't
Mhm.
you guys paying us, and it's just you guys watching us.
Yeah.
So,
YouTube will open their eyes a little wider and say, "Hey, those two aren't so bad."
yeah. So continue to suggest the show and continue to subscribe. Thank you once again, Carolyn, for your contribution. We can't do it without your watchship and your listenership. at the bare minimum. So thank everybody right here, right now for that. Ah. Chandra says, if you're joining the chat for the first time, please let us know. Matt will give you a shout out as I try to do. And if I miss it, Chandra will probably highlight it for me. She's a great
But
moderator.
she's awesome.
No problem, Matt and Cat, says Carolyn, to the contribution. Well, good. I'm glad it's no problem for you because it does mean a lot for us. So thank you.
Sure does.
Yeah. Me thinks she doth protest too much, says Melissa, in reference to Natalia. Protesting too much to everything.
Yeah. But she blind to Sonny so far, isn't she?
So far. You know, I think it's a good example, again, of the show being multi-layered and giving lots of different angles to what's going on. Is we see Sonny losing all of his oldest friends. We see his family realizing how bad he truly is, while also finding a way to present Dimples in a good time and that wool over the eyes of Natalia. It's a dichotomy. It's soap storytelling to me. You know, you got 5 days a week. You can do so much.
To me, if I were Natalia, I'd already be pissed at him. Because he left that wedding without saying goodnight to her. That's the way she saw it. She just, okay, well, I guess I'll go up to my room then. That was her at the wedding.
Did she not?
He never said goodnight. He didn't say goodbye.
Well, he did beat the crap out of Dex, though.
Yeah, but she didn't witness that, and she just thought, oh, the person that I came with just left.
Maybe he sent her a text. He's like, sorry about that. You know, I had to go.
Maybe.
Study stuff. But, you understand.
For me, I would have been, you don't know how cool I am already? Well, screw you.
Sonny, I'm going to make you some sauce. You're going to fall right in love with me.
It's got a special ingredient, right? Remember? Trina's
yes.
Yeah, the special
ingredient. It tastes like Sonny's sauce. This is Sonny's sauce. He must be really living in Nixon Falls.
It's Sonny sauce.
Melissa says Natalia needs to come out as lesbian.
You know, that nasty Sonny probably saving up some Sonny sauce for Natalia.
Oh, gross, mother.
I know.
It's nasty.
Sorry.
You said nasty at the same time, though. What'd you do, raise me?
Maybe.
I don't think Natalia is homophobic, but I do think she's very controlling and comes off entitled. I don't like her, says Stephanie, and that's true. That's pretty much the perspective we've taken on the podcast. Is she's not homophobic, she's just super controlling. We've gone over the bullet points. Go watch the library that we have on YouTube and also on the audio accounts on all of your favorite podcasting platforms for all of the details there. But basically, for me, it boils down to controlling the public image. Because once you come out as a gay artist, then that is what you are for the longest time. Even Melissa Etheridge is still like the lesbian guitarist, right? Jewel, you know, all these people just, they can't necessarily shake it, right?
Jewel?
Maybe I'm thinking of that actress.
Yeah, Jewel married to a dude like
I was thinking of that. What is that? Yeah, I said her name, but then the face of Jodie Foster showed up in my head. So I don't know. I'm weird. What do you want from me, Ma?
Not a lot.
Good.
A lot
That's
and
great.
Not a lot. How about that?
How about some love? I'll give you love. That'll give you in droves. I don't know why I said Jewel and thought of Jodie Foster. They're just the same person in my mind. Anyway. You know, but like some of these celebrities, just they like their sexuality is so just tied to them.
I see that with Ricky Martin.
Yeah, Ricky Martin. You know, and then there's other celebrities that use it as their vehicle for like Little Nas X, for example. You know, that is his platform. But his platform is also like, it's also contrary to what people would necessarily think about a hip hop artist, you know? So like it really works for him. You know, Lady Gaga leaned into pretty much anything and everything everybody was ever saying about her.
It really super works for Billy Porter.
Yeah, Billy Porter, for example, you know, like so, you know, there are some celebrities that can do that. Natalia doesn't want that for her daughter. She wants her to be Beyonce. What do you know about Beyonce's life other than she's got a couple of kids and she's married to Jay-Z?
Um, she, what I know about her is her mama was a hairdresser, and she used to like sing in the salon and sweep up hair and stuff like that.
Right.
And yeah, and they were very desperate to make and worked very hard to make Destiny's Child Destiny's Child.
Yes, and all of that is connected to Beyonce's ability to sing, dance, and perform. Just like
Yes.
99% of anything that you know about her, as it turns out, people don't know much about
Mm.
anything beyond her artistry.
To me, if an artist, an artist, an actor, whoever, if they've been gay or bisexual from the get-go, no one gives a crap. But if it's something
But
that
there's a
they
coming
have,
out.
the coming out is what makes them, that makes it really stick
Yeah.
on them. You know what I mean?
So yeah, so we
Put it in the
feel as though
forefront
that,
of people's minds
we feel that's
when they
the
see them.
approach. Not I hate you for it, or I hate that this is an aspect of your life, but that this isn't an aspect of the life that the public needs to know about. They need to be focused, and same thing with the deal that she made with Deception. She's a singer. She's a this. She's not a model. She's not a spokesperson. If you want to
Mhm,
use her image to sell makeup, cool, but it's going to be in print ad. She's not going to Home and Heart because that's not what she does. She's not a
mhm,
personality. She's a singer,
mhm.
and that's Natalia's whole thing. So watch that stuff. Take all of that stuff into consideration, and I think it's a little easier to
I think
understand.
I think it's a tiny bit as well cultural,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit as well.
Maybe,
Yeah,
probably.
a
I
little bit.
I don't feel qualified to make that judgment, but it's possible. It's entirely possible. Oh gosh, Melissa, I thought Natalia might have had the vibe there, says Sindis. I think the interest in Sunny is strictly part of an agenda. See, so much to say about Natalia, isn't that great?
Well, I hope so. I hope so because Eva LaRue can bring all that. I know she can.
Oh yeah. They wouldn't have cast Ava LaRue for just flash in the pan.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
They. I think that they were really rolling the dice when it came to casting Kim Delaney.
Mhm.
Because I think they might have been hoping for a little bit more, and
Well,
ultimately didn't get it.
I think prospect. If it were me, I'd have wanted to put. I sure would have wanted to put Tad and Jenny together.
Yeah, wouldn't that have
I
been
would have.
something? Wouldn't that have been
Mm.
something? Um, Missed opportunities.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
gee. Well,
yeah,
sorry,
do you
Chandra.
know? Do you know, Matt? Is Eva? Is it Eva or Ava?
I always say Ava,
Eva.
but I'm not sure. I say Ava LaRue.
Um, is she under contract? Do you know?
I don't know, but probably.
I would think so.
She's on so much that I would think that she is.
I would think so
She
too.
doesn't give me recurring vibes for me.
Yeah.
Chandra says that Bay's brand is separate from her private life, and that's exactly what I was saying.
Mhm.
So same thing for Blaze, Blaze and Bay, Bay and Blaze. Maybe Blaze is going to become the Beyonce level superstar of General Hospital.
Well, they did make Ricky Martin a big deal. They did.
I mean, even just like the character of Blaze, like she's doing world tours now and
Mm-hmm.
documentaries and full on music video albums for every song on her release. And then she has to break up with Christina because she's so busy. And now Christina's saddled with this baby that she decided to keep.
Oh, I think those Davis girls are going to fight each other in court over that baby.
We're so
Definitely.
warming up for that.
Oh,
Not
yes. And
not only is Alexis getting her law license back, but we got Molly pretty much having a conversation with everybody.
right,
Molly's on
right.
a lot. She's really
Molly
spread
is on
out.
a lot. And this actress of Molly, that's the right one. I
They
really
found
do
it.
think so.
They found
This
it.
is the right one. Took a little while to find her. Had to go a zigzag a little bit, but I think this is a great Molly.
I'm about to be assassinated with this statement, but I like this iteration of the Davis girls better than the previous one.
I do too,
I like
actually.
these three. I like these three. I like these three. Like now, maybe it's just a testament to the bond and the chemistry that these new actresses have been able to forge with one another. But when it comes to like mentally swapping out Lexi Ainsworth or Haley Poulos or um oh
Kelly
Sam still
Monaco.
Sam.
Kelly Monaco. I'm pleased though that of the three girls, one of them is still the original from
It's kind of the
previously.
anchoring character for everybody.
Exactly.
But when it comes to swapping out Lexi or Haley with the current Christina and Molly, I wouldn't want to. I don't think that it would have the same. It just wouldn't be the same because there's a
I
level of maturity that all three of those girls have. Women, they're the Davis women now. We can't call them the Davis girls. There's just a
yeah,
level of adult and maturity that is now in the Davis women that I
I
don't think
agree.
necessarily had existed before.
I agree.
Sid disagrees. Molly is good.
And I think it's hard. I think it's it's been done several times, but I do think it's hard for the same actress to play the child and go into adulthood because we don't grow them up the same
Hmm.
as viewers, I think.
Right. I still think
We don't
of
grow them up
Lucky
the
as
same.
30. He ain't 30.
No.
But even if
No.
Jonathan Jackson were to come through, I would still think of that character as younger than he actually is. So yeah, I totally agree with you on that. Sometimes you need a refreshed face.
Yeah. Sometimes when you're sore is you need to
Just like Wheezy that we talked at the top of the hour. Wheezy Faison soars next week. That's exciting. That's exciting. New adventure for Spixie 2.0.
So you guys, what do you? I just love Maxie and Spinelli. I just love them. I just love them. I just love that they're, and I want them, I don't want it to happen next week, but I want Maxie and Spinelli to have a real wedding, not a wedding, non-wedding, a real wedding. I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. I think Chandra deleted that because I posted it before I finished typing. I don't like Molly's wanting to keep the baby from Christina after she's born. That's the baby's aunt. Oh, yeah,
I agree.
yeah. That's a little much. A little much.
Because
It's getting real tense.
she said to her mom that after she had the baby, after the baby's born, she was going to put some distance between her and Christina.
That's
She
not
said it.
right. That's not
It's
right.
not right. It's not right. It's not
So
right.
basically,
And
I'm just your baby factory then, Molly?
that's what it be. That's what it appears.
We don't need that.
No, we don't. No, we don't. Yeah,
Hey, Charlie.
yeah. I don't like it one bit. I don't like it one bit. And yes, it's going to happen like we all thought from the very
Oh,
beginning.
yes.
Sometimes we just know what story's going to be. We just
Oh,
know.
we're practice
So
soap watchers.
yeah. So those girls, yes, they're going to fight over that
Oh, yeah,
child,
there's going to be
and they are going to be
contentious
in court.
court.
And that's part of the reason why Alexis is getting her law license
Yep.
back.
Mm-hmm. Whose side is she going to be on? Will she be in the middle? Who knows?
Uh-huh. And I think it could very well be a Diane Alexis against each other.
I don't know
We've
how that
seen that
works if they're working
before.
in the same firm, but maybe. Listen,
And then,
anything happen. Anything can happen in Soapland.
or it could be Molly and Alexis fighting each other.
But who will Alexis be representing? I guess Christina in that matter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We're just gonna have to watch the show and see what they tell us, right?
We are.
Just
We
like they're telling
are.
us some fun things about Spixie, man. How refreshing is it to have Spinelli and Maxie back together on the screen, huh?
I love it.
It's like putting something right back together. I know
I
Nathan
love
was
it.
very popular. People love Nathan, but Maxie hasn't achieved a Nathan since Nathan, you know?
No, they haven't paired her with anybody decent since then either.
No, secrets from Peter and secrets from Austin. And you know what? Spinelli's not going to keep secrets, is he? He's going to be like, you know what? I need to hack the FBI, but I'm not sure I want to do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think that you would not like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should do it anyway. Oh, joy. Oh, yay.
And I've always, even though, he has evolved and he has changed over time, he's grown up. We've watched him kind of grow up and become less uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But I just love the character Spinelli. And I love that, is he less weird? Yes,
No.
he's less weird,
Nah.
but he's still weird.
Yeah, he's like an ironed out, chilled out weird. Yeah. He's got the word of the day. Anytime I say it, we're gonna scream like Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse. Maturity. It's what he's got. It's what he's got. It's a maturity to spend. He's still weird. He's still well, salutations to you, good Sam.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'm really at a Ren fair.
Yes.
Me and Stone Cold.
Yes. I don't think we've heard him. What was the last time he called Carly the, what was he used to call her, the Valkyrie or
I
something?
don't think he's referred to her as that in a
No,
long
he hasn't.
time.
He hasn't. But I tell you that my couple of my favorite things, it wasn't this past week, it was the week before. But I love the two, oh gosh, Spinelli and Jason. And he was just wanting to hug Jason and hug him and hug him. And
Okay,
it was just comedic gold like it always is
we
between the
got
two of them,
all right. We got
Physical comedy.
and then trying to get the three in. Yeah. It's just it's good comedy.
It's golden.
They got great chemistry together. And if you do ever have a chance, if they're near you or you can travel to it to see a Stone Cold and Jackal live show, do it. It's good comedy stylings and it's soap centric comedy, which is
It's fun.
kind of an interesting wedge of comedy to find yourself in. So
Yeah,
check that
I've
out.
seen Stone Cold in 3 times.
Yeah, I think we've seen them twice together.
We've seen them twice together, and then I saw him once with Daddy T.
Yeah, Daddy T. Victoria says, yes, please reunite Spixie, reunite Charlie. Chandra says, bring Nora Buchanan back and maybe Martin. Ooh, what about Martin versus Nora?
Oh, I would love that.
Battle of One Life to Live versus All My Children on a GH courtroom.
And then, excuse me, and then sprinkle in some stupid Scotty in
Scotty comes in. He's like, I'm on the team. I'm on Nora's team.
there.
On the opposition's team. And then who walks in? Liza Coleman. Let's see. Nathan was second tier to Spinelli in my book, says Melissa. I can't wait for Georgie to become a baby hacker, says Chandra. Hey, look at that. Just little 13-year-old in her bedroom with a hoodie on, the hood's up. She's got
Yes.
7-Up Code Red and a coffee mug.
I'm all for them. I'm all for them making Georgie a little weird like her dad.
You can make her like a fashionista like her mom, but she speaks really quirkily. Did
Yes.
Spinelli and Ellie have a baby? They didn't, right?
No.
Okay, because I was thinking about it, like it was
No,
shower thoughts the other day, and I'm like, is there another kid Spinelli's got out there that they just dumped on someone else? I guess not.
No, but Ellie Spinelli raised Georgie with him for a long time.
Yeah.
She went to go live with her dad for a long time.
Yeah. A good solid second mother.
Mhm.
So maybe
Yes.
that can come up with Georgie. Be like, you didn't even raise me, you ignorer. You're just like Grandma Felicia.
That's who I thought of, but Grandma Felicia was far, far worse than Maxie.
Stephanie loves that Spinelli is moving back in and the kids are happy about it. I would be thrilled if Spinelli was moving into my house, let me tell you.
Mm-hmm.
I would be very happy. Maybe not Bradford. I'm sure Bradford's happy with his family, his wife and his kids. But if Spinelli, if Damian Spinelli, the character, were to want to move into my home, I would be like, yes, absolutely. You know why? I'm not going to have to worry about money. You can just hack money into my bank account. We can all pay the rent.
Oh, look at there, direct deposit.
Ooh, look at that. Ooh. You just a Pillsbury Doughboy in your mind. Melissa says that Spinelli is dad weird. And I think that's right. That's good.
He is that weird.
That is good.
Yeah.
Sandra wants Lane Davies to become a series regular. We were talking about Fergus Byrne earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
He and Nancy Lee, big co-stars from Santa Barbara together.
Yeah.
But this time, instead of being in love, they're in hate.
Mm-hmm.
So the other side of that coin, right? I know that Lane Davies, he did an interview and he said he was so thrilled and excited and jazzed to do this short stint on General Hospital. Sandra wants to see him full time and become a regular. I don't know, maybe. We would really need to learn a lot more about Fergus Byrne for him to really be ingratiated into the cast. Because right now he's just like that angry third brother.
Can you hear her?
Who?
Mochaccino?
No.
No? Okay. She's barking. Mochaccino's on vacation here.
So what's going to happen to Grandma and the dogs?
Banner's not staying here. He's a wild animal.
Okay.
Banner is being boarded.
Okay.
Because he's a wild animal, and I'm afraid he'd knock Grandma over.
But Mocha's in that house.
Mocha's here.
And Grandma...
She's a lady. All she does is eat and sleep.
Yeah, she's old too, right?
Yeah. So Mocha's here.
So
Mocha's
Grandma
here.
and Mocha in that house, and then like people are gonna swing by every once in a while.
Your aunt's coming for a couple of days to stay.
Okay.
Your aunt will be here on Wednesday and Thursday.
At least we got somebody to call the fire department.
And your brother knows that she will be here.
Okay, well, perfect then. I am not
Yeah.
concerned about the elderly being left to their own devices.
No, you don't have to worry about it.
But Lane Davey, yeah, I think he made an impact. I think Fergus Byrne has definitely made an impact in the couple of days here. I've enjoyed him. I've enjoyed the energy, the practice nature of the actor, because you can tell when somebody's new and still trying to figure it out versus somebody who's been in the game. And Lane Davies has clearly been in the game.
Mhm.
So just the natural, just even in times where they stick like Morgan Fairchild in there, or
Mhm.
who was the lady that played the antagonist in Florida against Carly?
Oh, who was it? Oh, that was Linda Pearl.
Yeah, her. Like she also, somebody who just slid right in and had a full character and wasn't trying to suss things out, and it's good to
Right.
see that. It's
Mhm.
fun to see that. So, yeah, 5 stars for Lane Davies. We'll see how long he lasts. I think it's only supposed to be a couple of weeks.
And we found with Fergus is just, he's got some regrets. His brothers weren't even speaking to him.
Yeah, maybe in death he's trying to make up for lost time, lost relationship. Kind of a Cyrus Renault move. But yeah, on the outs and
Well, I tell you who's getting kind of slimy there in Port Charles.
Sonny.
No, Sonny's, Sonny got some problems. Who's becoming slimy?
Becoming slimy.
Uncle Drew is becoming slimy.
Oh, Uncle Drew.
Uncle Drew is becoming slimy. He's going to try something with Willow. It's only a matter of time. He's going to try to kiss her. He's going to do something inappropriate because he's turning into dirty, slimy Uncle Drew.
Yeah, Uncle Drew. I don't know why I find that to be so funny, but I do. Uncle Drew. Oh, just the Uncle Evil, hateful Congressman Drew.
But I'm all for it because when Cameron Matheson is playing Good Drew, it reminds me so much of Ryan Lavery.
What are you
way
talking
too much.
about? Good Drew is the epitome of happiness, all right? I like me, you like me, and I'm gonna help you like you, brother. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna lift you straight. We're gonna climb Kilimanjaro together. That's what we're gonna do in honor of my dead son. We're gonna do it. Oscar be damned. You and me, we're gonna go up to the Kilimanjaro. I cannot wait. You miss that? You don't miss that?
No, I like him a little dark. But I'm gonna love hating that he makes a pass at Willow. I'm gonna love hating it.
Because Drew's just like, screw love. Screw love. I don't need to fall in love. Carly just, I just left Carly because I knew that love isn't real. What's the last time I loved somebody? Kim. Huh. I know what she did to me inside Franco.
I don't find him slimy because he's doing it on the floor with Nina. I don't care. I don't find that slimy. She's slimy too. So that's why I don't care, I guess.
You don't find Willow to be slimy.
I don't find Willow to be slimy. I find that Snow White can somehow, she can often, she can be victimized.
So here's then what we do, right, is we have him, mac on her, right? Put the moves on, try to kiss her, and then she pulls away going, what the hell are you doing, Drew?
Right?
Drama. She doesn't have to fall for it.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to. She might, but she doesn't have to.
No.
And then what?
I would love it if he puts a smack on her and she pulls away and then she spits. What are you doing, Uncle Drew?
And then it's a different actress. What are you doing, Uncle Drew? I'm not your uncle. I'm not even Michael's uncle. Okay, I'm Michael's uncle. But still.
Dirty.
Chandra used to call him Ryan, too. Willow isn't exactly being his number one fan. Drew is her new Shiloh, says Melissa.
Right? Ooh. That's where the slimy comes in, doesn't it?
See, it won't be long before Drew's balancing 3 women. He's got Nina who's pulling at it because he hates her. He's got Willow, who's pulling at it because he likes her. He's got Jordan, who's pulling at it because he needs her for the political power.
Yes.
Oh, Drew. How times have changed since Greenland. People need to stop reminding you of what such a hero you are because you're losing it, buddy. You're losing your hero status.
You're not behaving like a hero right now. You're slimy, Uncle Drew.
Yeah. Who's talking about boxcarring? We're not going to boxcar anybody. We're not boxcarring a soul. That's not coming up.
You know who looks so fabulous on camera? So fabulous. That would be, trying to say her first now. Jordan. What's her first name?
Her real name?
Yeah.
Tanisha.
Man, she looked fabulous, didn't she?
She always looks fabulous, but she did look extra fabulous, right?
She looked extra fabulous this week. Extra fabulous. You know who's extra stupid this week?
Laura?
Yes! My gosh, hit it right there on the head.
It's so weird because, like, in one scene with Jordan, she's like, "No, I'm not trying to let Heather out." And then she has a conversation with Curtis, and she's like, "Well, I can't make a statement that might ultimately be untrue if I try to let Heather out." It's like, Laura,
right?
Laura, sit down and have a conversation with somebody.
You got short-term memory or what? What's happening here? Because you know how dangerous Heather Weber is. And some fans are like, "Oh, what's Portia doing? She's too vocal, blah blah blah." No, she isn't.
No.
She's not. I don't think she is.
I've seen positive reaction to Portia, and then even in this chat here, somebody was like, "I don't like Portia." But yeah, I mean, I think that she's, I don't know. I like the Ashfords bonding together,
Too.
Under one shared opinion.
Yes, and I love that Portia and Curtis are united on this.
Hey, Serena. Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that they're united on this. But no, Portia has all the right to mama bear herself to death.
Yes, yeah, and Curtis, right up behind her, with his own meeting with Laura.
Yes, because they're right. They're right. Because that Trina, even though she wasn't a victim, that was the intended target many times.
I mean, she was victimized, if not attacked.
Right.
By Heather. Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, Curtis was so clear, her friends and mentors were killed by this crazy ass person. Let's not let her out.
And gave Laura an example as well. Well, you tried to give her daughter a second chance, Esme, and look how that turned out.
Yeah. Melissa with the devil's advocacy, will saying, "Well, if I were Laura, I would ask Curtis if Marshall's misdiagnosis caused him to be on meds that made him commit a crime. Do you think he should be held completely accountable for it? Even though it wasn't his choice."
I hadn't thought about that angle, but you're right. But still, you know what I would do to Heather Weber? I'd try to hook her ass.
Oh, and I get, that's the meat and potatoes of the story, right? Is whether or not you see this as valid. They had to have a character, one of them, to have this story. They have to have one character that's pushing for it.
And this is the one redeeming value for me of this storyline. It puts Allie Mills back on my screen.
Yeah, Allie Mills is good. They could still pivot, right? Because if the rumor mill is to be believed, Patrick Mulcahy, who is the head writer that recently left General Hospital, was the one that's like, "Lucis, I like this story. I love Allie Mills. We're keeping her on." And, he's not with the company anymore. So who knows?
Who knows
what direction things are going to go in? Maybe.
We don't know. We don't know which storylines were favorable by the writing team that's in place now. Which ones do they want to salvage? Which ones do they want to?
I'm not even sure who the head writing team is beyond Elizabeth Corte. Right. I never got that Chris Van Etten thing confirmed. So as far as I know, the only head writer is Elizabeth Corte. And let me tell you, folks, here's the thing. You know what we've seen in the last year that people have been wanting? We've got a female head writer. It's on General Hospital.
A lot of people been hollering for that.
And over on Days of Our Lives, we have a female showrunner, co-showrunner with Corday or whatever his name is, but he's hands off to a degree. You know, the one carrying most of the daily weight is the producer over at Days. I can't recall her name at the moment because we're not doing that show at the moment. But but yeah, I mean, just in the last year, you know, these things that people have wanted to see, you know, it's really male dominated. Let's you know, shake it up some. We saw that on the 2 shows that we podcast on, and that's nice. That's nice to see. That's nice to see. We'll see how things continue to grow and evolve and change backstage there. You know, I feel like we're in a state of growth. I feel like we're in a state of preparation, I should say. I don't want to necessarily say that the industry is holding its breath waiting to see what happens with the gates. But the industry may be holding its breath to a degree to see what happens with the gates, where they might be, you know, holding on to some stuff or maybe preparing some stuff that could be a bubble that grows and grows and grows, but we don't want to try just yet. You know?
If you believe social media, every Black character on our 4 soap operas are going to jump ship and be on the gates. If you believe
social media. Wouldn't that be something, though? Wouldn't that be incredible?
Be crazy.
Just everybody's deal comes up at the same time.
Yeah.
And they all move on. I don't know. That would not be necessarily fun, because then the other shows will super suffer. I've been an Ashford fan for the longest time. All of them. The entire family is amazing. I think that they have great, solid story content. And as much as Stella bothered you, she doesn't bother you near as much anymore, does she?
Oh, no. Stella doesn't bother me anymore because Stella, like Tracy, has calmed her crap down.
She stopped being so meddling.
Stop being so meddling.
Oh, man. Oh, what a transition.
The meddling doesn't bother me as much as the judging. And that's what Stella used to do.
Yeah. I think Trina is the person that leaked the story to the press. It would give her a great storyline, says Sabrina. Now, that would be interesting. I think that's perfectly reasonable, viable, and an entire realistic possibility. Unless it was Cyrus again.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a realistic possibility. I just hope we get married Jordan out of it. That's all.
But, you know, let's talk about Trina's best favorite adult friend.
Yeah.
Who is Miss Ava. It's her favorite adult friend.
Just real quick. Chandra shared some information about James Reynolds had left Days of Our Lives temporarily to join the cast of Generations when that debuted in the 90s. So actors leaving one soap to join another debuting one is something that's already happened once in history.
Yes. And I think I may be mistaken. Didn't Ken do that with Santa Barbara? Jumped off General Hospital?
Ken Schreiner? Oh, I'm not sure. I know he was on Santa Barbara, though, so it would make sense.
But I don't know if it was a new soap at the time.
I think every 3 or 4 months, the actors in the studio both have an option. Mostly the studio has an option to even no matter how long the deal is, even if it's a 4-year deal, every 3 or 4 months or so, they can go back to it and be like,
Sounds to me like a 16-week thing comes to mind.
Something like that. In any case, you were talking about Ava. You're talking about Trina and Ava.
Yes. Ava has been messing up so much. And you know, when the rumor mill is that Maura West is going to leave, and I could see that happening. Actually.
With the number of people that are starting to learn some things and the outs that she seems to be on when it comes to a number of the things, it's possible that we're opening up the door.
It could, and it could be a delicious whodunit. It could.
Chandra hopes that Trina doesn't do that, and I can assume that she's talking about jumping ship over to the gates if it were to debut. I really can't say one way or the other because I don't know these people. We're not back there, and we're not the news.
I don't want anybody to do it. Honestly, I expect somebody to leave one of the 4 soaps and go to the gates, though. That would be ridiculous to think that no one was going to.
Yeah. I mean, I think yes. I don't know, because it's weird. I don't find myself in a position like you where I hope that an actor decides to jump. because I do like them on the shows, but also at the same time, it also really has to do with how creatively satisfied that actor feels. There's a lot
Exactly.
of there's a lot of opinions that are considered fact that are just made up out there based off of extrapolation, off of a
Don't
look,
you
a
think,
line, of something.
don't you think to some degree, if the pot was rich, they might
Mm-hmm.
let that decide?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Ah, Chandra was referring to
you
Melissa.
think about careers out there, all careers. I know that's the many reasons. That was my reason more than once.
Yeah, money,
Jump
right?
ship because that other ship had more money in it.
That ship had more money in it. I'm gonna go get that more money, please. So yeah, I mean that's entirely possible. Also, creative satisfaction as well. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of people who are reflecting their opinions and feelings off of what they're taking the show as, and then saying, well, then the actor must feel this as well, which may or may not be the case. I mean, they might feel it doubly hard as you do, or they might not feel it at all. I really can't say. But Chandra was her comment about Trina was replying to Melissa, and Melissa said, imagine if Trina goes to see Heather and thinks she's changed and Trina supports Laura. The drama between Trina and Portia could yield good drama. I don't necessarily see that for Trina, though.
Either.
I don't see her having one conversation with Heather and being like, oh, I get it. I can see her listening to Heather and going, you know what? I gave your daughter a lot of grace. I
Hmm.
give her a lot of space and a lot of grace. I didn't want her in prison. I didn't want to use false evidence against her. I didn't want her dead. I didn't want her kid taken away from her. I just wanted Spencer to be free from her.
Yes. I just wanted to be able to have my life with Spencer
And
free
so
of this man.
I gave her room, I gave her grace, I gave her space, I gave her everything that she needed to restart her life, not remembering anything else, as little as I actually trusted her, and that made it so Spencer is dead. So
Hmm.
no, Heather, I will not be listening to your sad sob story. I think that might be the better direction, and also on top of that too, it'll satisfy the section of the Sprina fans out there that have said that they have not gotten enough from Trina regarding the death of Spencer.
Now, this is a conversation I would love to see. I
Mm-hmm.
would love to see this scene. I want Sam to go visit Laura and say, "Hey, when she stole my child, Danny, when she stole Danny,
Mm-hmm.
all in this because she was so whacked out about Luke.
Right.
She didn't have melosis at the time.
No, no.
She did
Remember
not.
that she's done a lot of really terrible things, yeah, but she didn't murder anybody. That's the whole case. I want to maybe see if it's fair to reopen.
She almost murdered several.
Yeah.
She put people in the hospital like
Yeah, yeah,
crazy.
yeah. I mean, all of this is true. All of this is true, and all this is all the facts that are brought up that are in opposition of this storyline existing.
Hmm.
And the only thing that I can say to that, because it's factually true, everything that you've said is factually true. The only thing that I can say on that is just that's not the story they're telling. It might be,
Exactly.
it might be disappointing. It might, be frustrating. It might not be logical to you. It doesn't reward your memory, which is a phrase that I came across recently that I think really applies to soap watching.
I think so
Rewarding
too.
your memory.
Rewarding your memory,
Yeah,
yes.
it's not
Because
it's not
yes,
rewarding your memory.
this is what bothered me about it as Laura. Laura's not that stupid.
Right.
She's
Like
never
she
been painted as stupid. She's been
no.
painted as savvy.
Right. So I mean, stupid. I think is a strange word because I don't think that she's necessarily being stupid. She's not like
Naive,
misinterpreting a
maybe?
situation.
Maybe
Not
naive?
even naive. Just mm, in a moral gray area. Truly, because this isn't I'm misunderstanding the facts. This isn't. At least as it stands right now, we haven't been shown that Heather is purposefully trying to manipulate Laura. That
Right.
that might be the case, but we haven't seen that factually supported by the show yet.
And Laura knows 100%. You put that crazy girl in a low security place, she's going to leave every single night.
Which is maybe why maybe that's feeding into her decision making as well. If we can't, if she doesn't deserve to be in Supermax because she's not going to be that type of criminal anymore, and she's always going to break out of minimum security, let's just let her go. Uh, you know,
Okay, where's she going to get to live with you, Mayor Laura, for the next year?
listen. Again, it's that gray area, and even in the dialogue, it's difficult for them to really find the center of Laura in it because it's awkwardly plotted out. Let's just be real. This story has been passed between 3 teams of writers, and they've totally lost focus on it. Let's just call it what it is. Uh, finding that center of Laura, that logical center of Laura in this is difficult. All she can really do is fill that role of the person that wants her out, so they can continue. Or the person, and even in her dialogue, like we talked about before, she's saying one thing to Jordan, a completely different thing to Curtis in the very same episode. They just got to find the center. They got to find the reason. They got to find the why. Beyond, I'm just feeling sympathetic, and this is the right thing to do. This is fair. This is the right thing.
Right.
Based off of just black and white legalities. You weren't in control of your actions for those crimes that you were sentenced for.
And then if Cuckoo Nest gets out, and she does something terrible,
it's on Laura.
It's on Laura.
It's on Laura. Hey, LaShawn. LaShawn says, "Rest in peace to Johnny Wactor, who was Brandon Corbin." Yes, we talked about that a little bit earlier in the podcast. Of course, the month of June is dedicated to Johnny Wactor. It's Johnny Wactor month here on the 10th floor, so there will always be a picture. It's should be right over there, right now. We're here in this vicinity.
Sweetheart, we met him at the first convention, didn't we?
Yeah, he was the MC on the first day.
Yep.
Because Laura Wright was busy filming.
Yeah, Laura Wright had to film on that Friday.
Right, and so he was the MC for the first day. So
yes.
we got some really good, positive, strong Johnny Wactor vibes and energy, and seeing him in an environment where he was just having a great time.
He was.
I wish I was able to get but he wasn't a part of the free list, and we're poor, so
Going to that convention is a stretch for us.
Sin disagrees that the writing for Laura has been a little topsy-turvy for quite some time, and the only thing that I can blame is the fact that it started with strike writers, then went back to Chris and Dan, then went to Elizabeth and Patrick, and now is in the hands of Elizabeth and whoever. It's just been passed and passed and passed and passed and passed, and this Metalosa story was something that Chris and Dan did that, from what I have seen, I'm not back there. I don't know these people. I got to come up with like some sort of just like sound instead of saying that, just like blurted-erp, blurted-erp. I'm not back there. I don't know these people, but it did seem as though from the interview that Allie Mills did that Patrick Mulcahy was really the one that was behind the Metalosis story, and he's not there anymore. So past to past to past to past to past, and now it's in the hands of people who aren't as invested in it as the original creators. So it's lost luster. The only thing that we can do to this thing is end it. Have a judge, have a federal judge, have a Supreme Court justice show up to Laura's office and say, "Stop it, don't do this," and then have it over. Ned shows up. "Hey, I was mayor of Port Charles for a while, and oh boy, did I make some questionable decisions sometimes. So much so, we had a special election in which you replaced me. Let's get into it."
And let's talk about that your ballot box from your grandson.
Which in the topsy-turvy, timey-wimey, strange way, it was like 20 years ago. Because that was Nicholas Bechtel when he was 10.
Yep.
12 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
How long?
A long time ago.
Mayor? But really only 4, because they did that around the time we started podcasting. If not when we started, it was probably before. I definitely watched it with you.
Yeah, and Nicholas Bechtel was only there for a short time after that.
Yeah, and then he went back to school in France, and we saw him occasionally. He paid off. He the last major thing that Bechtel did was with Ava, where Ava changes her story, and then he vows revenge and hates her forever for it because she trades Valentine's witness statement, or her witness statement, against Valentine to repair her face.
Yep.
Wow. So long ago. So many stories ago.
So many stories ago, yes.
Almost a completely different cast back then. That was back in the day where Shiloh was running around, where Sasha was getting poisoned on the island by Cassandra Pierce. That was a Michelle Stafford era.
Yes.
Of Nina.
Yes. I tell you that.
Elizabeth Corte has been there forever, and she knows the history and character of Laura and the show, and I agree with you on that, Sabrina. Honestly, I think Elizabeth Corte, I can't prove this, I don't know it, but I think Elizabeth Corte was really responsible a lot for that Cyrus Martin Laura history stuff, really tying it back into her original origins, and that guy she killed in 1976,
Mm-hmm.
and all that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Oof. Just so rich in history, such a story that rewarded your memory. And I think that
Yes.
I think she had a large part to do with that. I don't know. I think.
Hmm. But yes, she does have a reputation of just being the historian for the show. And that even that when she wasn't head writer, which and she's been, like you said, on the show forever, they did go to her for, a history lesson on the regular.
Yeah, they even said so in the tours that we did on the conventions.
Yes.
MK Weir mentioned that Elizabeth Corte was seen as the unofficial historian because she had been with the show for so long and knows the character so well. So yeah, I think that you're totally right on
And
that,
I
Sabrina.
guess she's got one heck of a memory too.
So, now that she's in the hands of Elizabeth Corte as the head writer, maybe she'll just wake up one day and go, oof, oh man, that was almost a relapse of my locked in syndrome. Oh gosh. I need to go see a psychiatrist. I need to see the best psychiatrist in Soapland. I need to go see myself some Marlena Evans.
Yep. I tripped
Break
Sam.
down the walls. Open the forbidden doors, folks. Come on. Let's get the GH Days of Our Lives crossover we've all been waiting for. They dig a hole under Port Charles and they realize, oh my God, Salem, Illinois is right under us. A civilization of enhanced melodrama this whole time.
Whole time.
Somebody call up Laura Buchanan. What's her name? Linda Buchanan. I don't know her name.
Nora Buchanan.
Somebody call him Nora Buchanan. We got to talk to her about Eternia.
Yes.
So who killed Austin? Was it Nicholas? Asks Rachel. We still don't know.
We still don't know.
And we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. So pull up the VOD. I can't tell you exactly which one, but pull up the replays here in the last couple of weeks. We talked about this recently, and the conclusion that we made, just to repeat for you, Rachel, is everybody and nobody has shot Austin because we don't know,
I
and it could be anybody.
I think it's either Nicholas or there's a chance it's Brennan.
You see, and that's the thing. Brennan wasn't even a part of the show back then. So if it was Brennan, then it literally could be any. It could be Gio.
That's true. That's true because that's true. You're right. He wasn't on the show yet. And Austin recognized his shooter.
And okay, and just because Austin recognized his shooter doesn't mean that we would recognize his shooter at the time. So again, because of all of this stuff, because we really don't know, so much time has passed, and with that, well, what if it was Brennan? Brennan didn't exist back then, so
They
it
could do
literally
it.
could be anybody.
They could do it Days of Our Lifestyle and show us in flashbacks with things we didn't see.
Just from the other angle, so they don't have to pay Roger Howard.
Well, that's right up the soap. That I can't even blame that on Prospect. I can blame that on Soap Opera Land. Yes.
They just get a voiceover artist like me to be like, "Who are you? You're here in my house? Why, kablamo!"
Uh-huh.
Oh gosh, the ballot scandal and the Ava debacle, says Melissa. That is Bechtel's last couple of stories.
Yep.
Oh goodness gracious!
And I think Bechtel's biggest story was him burning his face.
Oh, I think so too. Beyond that, it was just goofy, silly kid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Townies and townies.
Which was always hilarious. And when they had Mrs. Chavez say townies, hilarious.
Yeah. Sindus goes, it could have even been Betty, the nanny. It could have been anybody.
You're right. It could be any. You're right.
Right. Charlie defending Laura, saying that she's in character with being forgiving. She was married to Luke after he boxcarred her. So forgiving is in Laura's DNA. It's tough when it comes to the boxcar situation between Laura and Luke. It's such a factor, but then such a non-factor for so long, and then became such a factor again, and then wasn't a factor, and then now is a factor again because of just modern day public sensitivities. That it's really hard to be like, oh well, look at this epic act of forgiveness that Laura gave Luke, when it was a thing and then wasn't a thing and then was a thing and then wasn't a thing and then was a thing and then was a seduction and then was a boxcar and then was a seduction and then was a this and then you misunderstood and then, well, now it's the 90s. Now it's the like it's so hard to necessarily associate that with prime Luke and Laura.
Right.
70s and 80s Luke and Laura, which is the Luke and Laura that was the popular height of everything. Then they split up and get remarried again in the 90s, and there's the whole situation there with Lucky and Liz and this, that, and the other thing, and
Yes.
and well, it's so tough. It's so tough to use that situation in any sort of discussion about Laura's decision making.
Because, if any of you were watching it at the time, in real time of when that occurred, it was so not relevant, not really.
Mm-hmm.
It was, and there wasn't social media and people weren't really talking about it even all that much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I remember I did a little podcast with James about this.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just wasn't. Yes, it seemed more. Yes, it is what it is. However, everything was just different.
Everything was just different. I always got the connotation. Now, again, it's modern days, modern interpretations of things. I'm not trying to downplay any real life situations that have come
Either.
up or anything like that. We are talking about a sequence of TV that happened in the late 70s. Time and place matters. I saw it less of a like violent taking of somebody and more of a all right, freaking fine, giving in. You know,
Yes.
which is wrong on both counts. To wear somebody down where they just roll their eyes and say, okay, well, I'm going to stop fighting this because whatever. But I think that was more of like the intent. Just like, but then also, fast forward to today, Days of Our Lives. I don't know if you remember this conversation between John and Brady, where John was like, you just got to take her by the face and give her a kiss. You just
Mhm.
take her in the face. You just plant one on her, son. And he's like, Dad, you can't do those soap maneuvers like that anymore. So
Yeah.
it's tough. It's just
Yeah.
tough. And agree, disagree. I am not challenging any of your own opinions out there. With that, think what you want. I'm not trying to convince you one way or the other. I'm just presenting you my interpretation of events that I wasn't even alive for. Sorry. Sorry for that reminder. Lucky and Lulu are officially the boxcar children. I don't know if we're going to take that far, Melissa, but that's a really good joke. Uh, let's see. There was some chatter about Todd. It was Todd who shot Austin.
That would be weird. That probably won't happen, but that would be
They could just get an old clip of Todd from One Life to Live.
Gotta make sure he's got a scar on his
Well, you
cheek.
have to get an old clip, of him with the long hair and the scar on his face. Just reuse that. Oh gosh, let's see. If you study the history of GH, boxcar situations happen too often on the show, says Chandra. Probably.
I think that's the case in all soap operas from a few years ago.
Yeah, because I think it's back in the day when the line was blurred between boxcarring and seduction. It's really easy to interpret a lot of those interpret.
Mhm.
It's really easy to interpret those situations through today's lens as true unabashed boxcar situations where there was a little, I guess, a little more gray area on it all before. Different
Yeah,
societal. I don't even want to say because I wasn't
recall,
alive. I don't know.
I just recall when it was actually in real time on show.
Yeah.
I was watching it. It just wasn't water cooler talk or anything. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, our Laura and Luke, look what Luke has done to Laura. That wasn't a conversation back then.
No. 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 I don't know. Yeah. It's rough. It's rough. It's rough. Ah, what else happened? Let's see. Let's get off the boxcar, and we can talk about Dante. Dante's still kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, he had a real honest conversation with his sister, didn't he?
Big time honest conversation with Christina, bringing up the past, bringing up his original come to Port Charles, bringing up reasons why he didn't testify against Sonny.
Yeah, and told her at the time, I lied to protect him.
Yeah,
Lied because
again,
I loved my dad and I already was in love with my siblings, even though I didn't know you were my siblings. I loved the family. I didn't want him to go away.
yeah,
I lied.
yeah. Yeah.
And she, and I was proud of Dante. I was proud of the fact that they wrote it that way, because I was afraid that they would downplay it a little bit,
No, see
because
again,
no,
that's my encouragement to be patient with the show, because this whole Dante testified against Sonny, this, that, or the other thing has come up for the last couple of weeks when it comes to what we've been building with the Dante story. But just again, give it time. Give him a chance to have that moment with that conversation with somebody he trusts who has been there. Sam wasn't around when that happened. Not that I know of, at least. Um, somebody, and Christina as well. One of the reasons why he lied.
Mhm,
Who's going through something right now? How do I feel about this situation? Do I need to do anything about this situation?
mhm,
Been there, done that, sister.
mhm.
Let me tell you what
Yeah,
I've been through. It's good. It's good. And Dante, he's
really
doing,
good.
doing great. Dominic Zamprogna, Canadian Dominic,
Yes, so good.
so good, so good.
I love that scene.
Yeah.
I thought he was, it's like, yeah, this is the way it is, sis.
The Emmys are going to be hard to predict next year, Mama. I think that there's going to be a lot of really powerful things that are being submitted for the industry to decide.
Yeah, yeah,
Phew.
it's really good.
Well, Charlie agrees with my interpretation of events, so that's great. Dante is the James Dean in the "you're tearing me apart" era. I don't think of James Dean with "you're tearing me apart." I think of The Room with Tommy Wiseau. You're tearing me apart, Lisa. Why? I did not hit her. I did not. Bad movie. It's a bad movie. Oh, hi, Mark.
Yeah, I really like their scene. I really like their scene, and I feel for Christina to a certain degree, because it is different to
Yeah.
know it, to know it's true, but to have never witnessed it. It's a whole different level of trauma.
Yeah. Well, hey, here we go. Sabrina with a good reminder when it comes to the Laura Collins situation. You guys know that whatever they're doing right now is just going to lead to Laura's summer vacation. And that,
Oh,
folks,
absolutely.
is something to keep in mind. Our very own Angela of Days for Dummies has a theory out there that I'm going to go ahead and repeat to you. Follow her on Twitter, Brooklyn74, if you wish to follow Angela, or you can watch us at 9 a.m. for Days for Dummies. She's with us in the podcast trio. But she's got a theory out there that Heather is playing Laura in order to be free, so she can get her hands on Ace and leave in classic Heather fashion.
Oh, that is yeah. See, and Laura should have her eyes wide open to that, because metallosis is not necessary
Right.
for Heather Weber to come up with that idea.
No. So that's her theory, that Heather's playing Laura. Then Laura's gonna then go after Heather, try to track her down, try to get the baby back. All of this election stuff is coming up as well, which is going to remove the mayoralship from Laura, which means that they're not going to go on, well, she's in D.C. Well, how is she still doing her job when she's not here? Like they were doing with Nicholas.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to go. She's not going to be mayor anymore. Jordan will be mayor. And we're gonna have Jeannie Francis off for her summer vacation, and everybody will be happy over the fact that Heather was playing her the whole time and isn't being redeemed.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
And all the while, Christina and Blaze are going to date.
And I wonder, and since you mentioned summer vacation, I wonder, and there's two actresses on the show that typically do that. There's Finola too. Now, last year Finola didn't do that.
No,
last year she didn't.
No, I think we had a strike vacation.
Yes, a strike vacation.
Mm-hmm.
But Finola and Jeannie, I think, have caught that in their contract. That would be my assumption.
Right. So I don't know if Anna's on the way out, then it's going to be tied in with Valentine and Jack and the whole Pikeman situation, whether she's taken out, taken down, removed from some situation. There was some chatter that next week Valentine is going to be talking with Alex, an alive Alex, next week. Chatter. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know exactly what they're basing that information off of, whether it's a screenshot that they saw or some sort of, one of those sentence spoilers where it's like Valentine sees double or, something, you know what I mean? So it's, maybe she's back, and that of course could lead into a kidnapping, a chase, a presumed death, any number of different things when it comes to the Anna Devane character.
Mhm.
Leaving a hole in the PCPD for Chase to fill for Dante. What if Dante has to become the chief of police?
Oh, I
You
like
know,
that.
and then now he's the chief of police, and he can't ignore Sonny.
That's true.
They're just the layers of drama that is being set up, and just the possibilities. Uh, to sit in that writer's room and just spin would be amazing. Alexis is
How
amazing.
far,
Joss and
how,
Dex are fine.
how far does Sonny have to, does he have to crash and burn? Does he have to do more than spiral? Does he have to absolutely crash and burn for Ava to open her mouth about his drugs, about his lithium and his other medications that he's at a 1/4% on?
I'm still saying that she's waiting on that information that would help her in that situation. She says it, and he goes, thanks. That's not, it's not necessarily going to change the situation, not without a heck of a lot of work afterward as well. Hey, I told you about this. Be nicer, be nicer, be nicer. Remember I did this? Remember I did this? Remember I did this? Remember I did this? Remember. That's all you talk about, Ava. Like, uh,
Man, and that scene on Friday was so good with him and with him and Jason. And Jason's like, I'm not leaving because I'm gonna stay and help you.
yeah, I don't need your head. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I want to help you.
Uh-huh.
Please let me help
Look,
you.
look,
He's
look, this
begging
place
him.
is in shambles. All right, your money
Yeah,
laundering is coming out dirty, Sonny.
yeah. This is your best. He basically said, "This is your best front business, and you have ignored it.
Mm-hmm. Are they
You
going
have."
with Congressman Kane? I'm sorry.
I mean,
Yeah,
I would have been. It would have been funny if he would have said this. Even our customers don't have enough Corinthos coffee to continue to use it.
yeah, yeah. Listen, all right. You got these signs
Bobby's
everywhere.
isn't
Proudly
Bobby's
serves.
isn't pouring Corinthos coffee anymore because there isn't any.
It says proudly serves Corinthos coffee all over town, but nobody's got a drop, Sonny. Not a drop, and that's a bad thing. Mayor
Yeah,
Ashford will work closely with Congressman Kane. Is that where we're going with Congressman Kane, not Congressman Quartermain?
yeah.
I don't know, because they,
And
they,
to
they said
me,
Congressman Kane this week, and he's like, yeah.
yeah, he did. Actually, to me, Quartermain is what he should adopt if he really wants to be a congressman, because I think that would get him more votes.
It's
Actually,
like, my name is Drew Kennedy. Please vote for me is basically, the idea behind it.
yeah.
Oh, let's see. Plus, Christina probably thought that Sonny's criming had more to do with naughty importing and violence connected defending his family. The Dex thing was seemingly a violent assault for no reason. Nail on the head there, Rachel. That's exactly the interpretation I think you're supposed to be
I
aiming
have to
for.
give a shout out because they're not listening, but the makeup team for
Yeah.
Dex's injuries
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
good,
No, yeah. The swollen eye and the bruising and stuff. Ah, yeah, yeah.
and the
That was
big
good.
old cut. That thing right there on his eyebrow is so significant and so deep.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't leave Dex with a little scar, they're missing the mark. That thing's too deep.
Well,
They he should
that's also
have
an investment.
they should at least be shaving his eyebrow in half.
I mean, I guess, that's something. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Just always, I'm never going to forget what you did to me, Sonny. Guess I can
Exactly.
see it. Jocelyn's never going to forget it either. They're just
Because
jogging together now.
that cut on his brow bone is deep.
I guess it's good that Jocelyn is, so active. She does a lot of jogging. I don't know if you noticed that. She's just always out there jogging. It's perfect weather for jogging. Jogging,
It is.
jogging, jogging.
And I never knew that Sonny jogged. I thought he only exercised
Yeah.
at the boxing ring.
But, and then,
And
where else are you going to run into people and have random conversations with them? How else are you going to talk to Dex? How is he going to be like, you're nothing to me. Stay away from me. If I ever notice you, you're dead.
Joss and Dex gonna land in the bed real soon. They're back together.
Absolutely.
They're back together.
Absolutely. Just stay away from my life
Hmm.
as you
And
are
I think
in
Dex
love
is
with
going to be
my
a cop.
stepdaughter.
I think he really is going to be a cop.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Clear. Listen, he got beat up by Sonny in a very public setting, which means all of that tension from the other officers is likely going to majorly go away. And we're going to hopefully see that with a new scene with Detective Bennett being like, hey, you're all right, kid.
Yeah.
So that's going to go away. He'll become a cop. He no longer has the pressure of Sonny. Now we can have Dex then enter his new era, his new phase of his characterization without being so saddled to everything that they had him do up until this point, which means family, fathers, brothers, sisters, deep romances with Joss, all that sort of stuff. I like
all that
Joss and
stuff.
Dex. I think that they're great. I think that they have legs to go on for a very long time. I thought Trina and Spencer did too, just Spencer left. So I think that Dex and Joss are going to go strong until one of those actors decides to leave or we hit 5 years, you know?
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
And we're only
And
already on like two or
I
three.
know right now there's a lull, and it has everything to do with the character of Spencer being off canvas, really. But Trina's not done,
Oh,
guys.
no. Oh,
Trina's
no.
far from done.
Yeah, they keep on talking about how she doesn't know what she's doing because that's the story. She's going to need somebody who plays the violin well and has a career goal path in mind, or somebody who's maybe still a little too close to Sonny. He's like, hey, Gio, I need you to do something for me. I need you
Yeah,
to run this down the street. Give this paper sack to the man in the corner. You'll know which one. You know, like, mm,
I could see that happening because Gio has Uncle Sonny on a pedestal,
mm-hmm.
big
Mm-hmm.
time.
And it's not like not like Trina has necessarily been blind to the realities of Sunny or hasn't been brushed by the danger that exists in Port Charles and all that stuff. So it's I could totally see her trying to throw herself in the way of Geo potentially going down the wrong path or ruining his golden goose going forward with the violin by getting too mixed up with Sunny. I could totally see that happening, and I think that would
Yeah,
be an interesting story to tell.
yeah.
And then he can help revitalize the artist inside of her that's been lost, revitalize the plans for the future. I know it's saying, well, she needs a man, but it's not needing a man. It's love. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Oh,
Soap operas are about, the base of soap operas are love
yeah,
stories.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
It's like
the base.
it's like saying, well, I want to see Liz, find her strong independence and not need no man. It's like, but also at the same time that, like you said, it's the core of soaps. It's kind of required. Everybody's sort of in a relationship, and if you're not in a relationship, what you got?
As an actor, if you're not in a relationship, you wish you are.
Well, even then, like even Sonny right now isn't in a relationship, but he has a relationship with Natalia. You know,
Yep.
Carly has a relationship with Jason and is developing one with Jack. It's not like she's removed from romance.
Mhm.
You name a character who's removed from romance, and I'll name a character who doesn't have a lot of scenes.
Yeah. ABC, Love in the Afternoon, you
Yeah,
guys.
I mean, that's not really their tagline anymore, but it's
Not
still a
anymore, but
fact. It's still something we want and expect.
uh-huh.
So, Valentine's on next week. Anna and Kate's are good. Maybe they'll both fall off the show together at the same time because it's not like Jagger's too sunk into things right now.
Right, right. And
Um,
for me,
unless something happens
I'm
between him and
happy.
Lois.
I'm happy to see what they got coming forward, but Jagger hasn't anchored Mama Cat. Not really.
Not yet. Not like Brennan.
Damn it.
Gia's gonna play the violin at Sonny's empty Italian restaurant. Well, there you go. I just want to hear something nice and pleasant while I'm doing my work, Gio. Will and Drew are
You
probably
know,
gonna
you know
bone, I
what?
guess.
You know what would instrument an easy instrument for Trina and Gio to meet is that they hire him for music at a gallery, or a show, you know,
Yeah, absolutely.
and then they get to talking, and then they have some common interest and things like that.
Mm.
They're
It happen.
obviously both creative people.
Yes,
Trina too.
yeah. So I mean that's an entire possibility for the future. I think that we might even be able to expect something like that down the road. I think that they're clearing the path for that. With their machete in the jungle, just cutting it all down, making it so Gio and Trina can walk this path together.
But this is what I prefer because that's not exciting, and that's not like woo enough for me.
Yeah,
I want this Eloy character to show up. I want him to be manly and fine as hell.
just a classic, just hunk, just a classic hunk. None of these modern day scrawny, spindly
I
people.
want him to
No,
be like I want him to be a guy
barrel chested,
I want him to
Gray
be
beard.
Benson. I want him to have a Bensonhurst edge. Be great. I want him to have that kind of edge.
Slick black greasy hair and a white T-shirt and blue jeans, and I'm making pizza.
And I want, yeah, I really want this Eloy character to show up, and I want him to be savvy. I want him to be fine. I want him to be rugged. I want him to be manly.
He's a guitarist. He's gonna be disheveled. He's gonna be long-haired and artful. I don't know what kind of guitarist he is. I don't know. Like, if it's electric versus acoustic, it's a very different vibe.
It is.
Trina and Gio will both be on Thursday, says Sabrina. So maybe we'll see something then.
Maybe.
They crave coffee, but Sonny has no beans because Jason was shot. Oh, well, Jason's just always getting shot, isn't he?
Well, we don't know if he gets shot or not. On Friday, we were in the middle of the gun battle.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He already got shot recently. I think Gio would be better with Trina than Joss. Well, there you go. I think that's the direction we're going in anyway. And then if Nicholas Alexander Chavez returns or a Spencer recast, then that could bring in a whole new avenue. Don't expect it. Years and years and years and years and years and years from now.
I think if we see Spencer back in the next 12 months, it will be because it's a different person playing him.
And I don't see the next relationship for Trina being one that is interrupted because Spencer's back. And here's why. Truly, 100% here's why. With the amount of focus that Nick Chavez got for playing the role, recasting him so soon is going to bring a whole mess of attention about this decision. And where is it going and why and who is it? And all the chatter is going to be about that and not the rest of the show.
Right.
On top of that, when it comes to the character of Trina, if you were to bring Spencer back to interrupt the very next romance that she has and have her running back in their arms, what does that say about Trina other than she's Spencer's gal? I think it weakens the character of Trina. I think that it takes away her independence, her agency, all of these words that come up a lot when it comes to analyzing the characters, if they were to stick her back with Spencer right away, as soon as possible, as soon as Nicholas calls them and says, I want to come back. Okay, great. Sprina's back on. I think that weakens Trina. I think that Spencer is next to nothing without Trina, and I think Trina has all of the potential in the world.
Without Spencer.
And that's how I truly feel. I know that Spencer has connections and ties and Alexis and Nicholas and this, that, and the other thing, but he's got ties with people who are not on the friggin' show. Britt is not on the show. Nicholas is not on the friggin' show. Laura's on the show. Okay, but that's grandma relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Cameron's not on the show. Really, the only person that's on, two people on the show, Jocelyn, Trina. You can say Alexis, sure.
Aunt Alexis.
You can say Alexis. Sure, but again, that's somebody that's 30, 40 years his senior. That's not going to be the story.
No. It would be meetings where she's either telling him what a stupid ass he is or patting him on the back. That would be the scene.
Yeah.
And she's not really part of either one of those stories, whether it be patting him on the back or telling him he's this and that.
So it weakens Trina, and then in order to really justify having Spencer back, you would have to also bring Nicholas back and somebody else back and somebody else back and somebody else. It's not just rehiring Nick Chavez. It's rehiring the Cassadine family in order to justify Spencer's appearance. And that's how I feel about it. I'm not the writer. I'm not back there. I'm not part of these discussions. I don't know. But for my independent interpretation and what I would do if I was in the big chair, I would let Spencer be dead for a while so we can explore what else it is that Trina is, because Trina's the one is the powerhouse character in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Spencer's the accessory.
They had a rap party for Monsters last week.
Oh, did they?
Mm-hmm. I saw a picture of it.
Okay, well, good for them. I really don't expect him back. As much as they say, oh, we've left the door open. Oh, we tried, but we can't for now. I'm really hoping to. I think that's all placation, saying nice things, not burning the bridge.
I wouldn't be surprised if Nicholas has maybe a few weeks off in the summertime here, and he's right back on set, not at Prospect Park.
No. If I was Nicholas Chavez, I wouldn't go straight to being back on the soap. I would audition for other large
I would
projects.
put my toe out there in the pool and see how warm it is.
Well, I mean, in reality too, okay, when it comes down to it, as an actor, he's in a great position to right now get audition after audition after audition. Whether or not he gets the roles or whatever, I'm sure he has many opportunities to audition for big major projects. And it's because
Yes.
he has been cast as a lead in season 2 of a popular television show. These other studios, these other production studios, these other projects are going to want to maybe be interested in getting Nicolas Chavez on their project in the expectation that Monsters blows up. And by the time their project is ready, Nicolas Chavez is twice the star he was when they cast him originally. So it's really very open for somebody like him right now, given what he left the soap to go do.
For his career, jumping right back on GH right now would not be smart.
It wouldn't be the forward direction that I think he and his agents and people are hoping for. You take a look at people like for example, Nell, when she left, when Chloe Lanier left, or even Steve Burton, going, oh, I'm going to go to Hollywood, deeper into Hollywood. I'm going to see what's out there for me, leaving the soap without that job, without that opportunity, hoping to shake one from the tree now that I have a little bit more time. My name isn't associated with General Hospital, which, might not be respected enough. They're not stepping into the same world of possibilities that Nick Chavez is right now.
Now, wasn't it the producer of Monsters? Isn't he an individual that very often will like an actor and reuse them?
Yeah, so it's Ryan Murphy, which is a name that most people know. I think he's responsible for Glee and American Horror Story, and really just like Pose is another big one. And there's also a long list of other shows that he's created that I can't even think of.
He's not new to Hollywood, that's for sure.
But he's very prominent. He's a very prolific showrunner, show creator, I should say. He's not necessarily running all of these shows, but he is the creative force behind. He's the pitch man, the one that's coming up with these concepts.
Yeah.
Potentially. And we're talking, American Crime Story and Monster Season 1 and like so many different things that Ryan Murphy's involved in, which means that the people that he works with also have a lot of opportunity with other projects that Ryan Murphy is doing. And you're totally right. You've seen Evan Peters in a lot of Ryan Murphy stuff. You've seen a lot of Sarah Paulson in Ryan Murphy stuff. And when he collects a dark-haired, young, muscular actor, he uses them until they are done with Ryan Murphy.
Jessica Lange, over and over.
Over and over again. And so, yeah, you've seen this time and time again with the people that work with Ryan Murphy. So, again, that's another thing that says, hey, even if I had the huge desire, the artistic need, the want to go right back in there and stick myself in the environment with the people I've come to know and love as my soap family, even if that was a part of it, the professional, real smart thing to do right now would be to audition, and see what comes of it.
Mm-hmm. And especially, he's so young, you guys.
Yeah.
Not even 25 yet.
He baby.
Mm-hmm.
He's a baby. The Trina Spencer pairing is similar to the Bo and Hope pairing. A different casting won't work. Other relationships will be uphill too, says Sandra. Maybe.
I've not seen Bo and Hope. I hope to someday.
I mean, I think here's the thing. I think also at the same time that there's a lot of legendary status that has been stuck onto Sprina that isn't real. And that's not a detriment. That's not being hateful. That's not saying that they don't deserve it, that they're not talented, that the couple was bad. No, the couple was short. This isn't Tad and Dixie. This isn't Bo and Hope. This isn't John and Marlena. This isn't Sonny and Carly. This isn't Jason and Carly. This isn't Anna and David. This is two young people in their first relationship on the show that lasted a year and a half, 2 years. Like,
but at the same time though, and out there in our viewing, they have caught fire that soap operas we don't see as often as we used to.
Did they?
And they
really?
caught fire big.
Did they truly though? Because there was a lot of interference from the fandom. It wasn't organic. It wasn't natural. It wasn't, Time Magazine or ABC Disney said, ooh, this couple, we really need to give them a billboard in Times Square. That wasn't ABC. That was the Trina fandom, the Sprina fandom putting that up there. And ABC's response to that was, great, now we don't have to buy a billboard somewhere. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
The plane over the thing, the huge social media rush, all of this was the fans, the fans, the fans, the fans, not the show.
Was.
Also, at the same time, when I say the fans, I don't mean 100% of people who watch General Hospital. I'm talking about 50% of the people that liked Sprina. You
Hmm?
know, so it wasn't organic, it wasn't natural, it wasn't something that ABC didn't put their machine behind these two. The fans had money and put their own machine behind it. So there was a little bit of skewing there when it comes to a potential public perception. Really, the only thing that Sprina got that the Sprina fans didn't pay for was the magazine cover, which was a small part way in the back because they're popular in social media and People Magazine knows that people are going to
Hmm.
click on it because of the power of the internet and the
Sure.
fandom that exists there. And
Sure.
again, this isn't hate. This isn't saying that you're wrong or bad or evil for liking them or paying for these things. I'm just saying that these are the facts and reality of the real life.
Yeah. But the fandom that they had, they have, um, it came up pretty quick.
Yes,
Pretty quick.
it hit very quickly. It was very popular very right away, and I understand why. I liked them together right away as soon as they had their first scenes together back when it was the other Trina. I'm like, oh, this is good. I
I
like to see
loved
this.
I loved when she jumped in his arms in Iceland. Oh my gosh, it was just soap opera golden. I loved it. And the last when we as viewers we got to see them go to Paris and have that great
Yeah,
day and all that. It was beautiful. Beautiful.
yeah, yeah,
Do
yes.
I want do I want the character of Spencer to come back? Yes, of course I do. But I'm not going to delude myself into thinking it's going to be anytime soon.
No, 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 no. It's not gonna be soon, and it's probably not gonna be Nick Chavez. But I would give it a long time, and even if they do Sprina 2.0, which is totally okay and totally something I'd be behind. I
Yes.
want years, or a couple of years. Let's give Trina
Yes.
2 or 3 different stories before that comes in, so we can have a
Yeah,
fully
let her
fleshed out Trina.
let's let her be conflicted when he comes back.
Something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's got to be story in between for her to be conflicted.
Yes, yes, yes. So I think that she needs 2 or 3 prominent stories before they bring Spencer back. 2 or 3. That's me. Chandra says that Sprina was big in the black community and ABC benefited from the free Sprina publicity. 100%. They absolutely did.
100%.
And when Nick Chavez left and Trina isn't on as much, you could see that the hundreds of thousands of people that watched for Sprina left. That's the mass exodus. The plummeting ratings because Carly. No, the plummeting ratings because Spencer left the show. And even if Trina was still front and center, the amount of front and center that seems to be requested from the people who are most passionate about it is basically on par with the people who are complaining we get too much Carly. So it's no way to
Probably.
really make anybody happy. Sabrina says, in my opinions, the writers killed them. In my opinion, Nicholas Alexander Chavez killed them. If it wasn't for his departure, it would look totally different right now. And if it
They would
wasn't
have
for
written
them,
they had opportunity to write it differently if he didn't leave.
right, and if they were less about trying to leave the door open
Hmm?
and more willing to slam that thing shut for the content and quality of story, then we would have gotten a stronger emotional reaction from his loved ones and friends if he was dead like Gregory is. They killed Spencer knowing that he's not dead.
Right.
They killed Gregory
Yes.
knowing that he is dead.
Yes.
So the reaction and the time spent is a little bit different.
Do you think we're gonna? It looks like we're going to get a memorial service for Gregory next week.
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna feel a little awkward given the real life situation behind deaths on the cast, but it's good. It's good to have it. It's good to have everybody have these moments as well. Everybody wants to see more Tracy. So many of us were rallying for Sprina, but it was handled one with writing issues too. Nick wanting to move on after they did get together, and they'll always have Paris. All of that's true in this. They'll always have Paris, and you're always going to have the fond memories that you have of their time together. I would say that it was less the writing and more Nicholas's. Here, listen, folks. All right, I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened, okay? Because I
I,
wasn't there.
let me say one
Yeah,
thing.
please do.
I think that Esme's really dead, and I think that Spencer really isn't.
I agree. I agree with that. Here's what really happened. And this is just the fact and the matter of the situation. Here is what really happened. Nicholas Alexander Chavez gets this cool job with a lot of time left on his GH contract. So they go, all right, we've done this before. No problem. Go do your other project, and when you're done, we'll see ya. Right back here to finish the last 2 years that you have.
Mhm.
Then, a little thing happened called the Writers and Actors Strike, which delayed his departure from GH to go to Monster. And so they said, well, we still got him, and there's no reason to pause his contract now. Too challenging legally, doesn't make sense, too costly, whatever the reason is, I don't know. They continue to use him during a strike in which the writers only had half of an outline that they ran out of 2 months into the strike, and then they had to start making it up then. So the writers of General Hospital didn't ruin Sprina. The fact that the strike happened before he was able to leave and follow their original plan of a temporary departure is really what ruined it. And it had nothing to do with the creativity behind GH. It had nothing to do with racism. It had nothing to do with intent of liking this character more, trying to sabotage this person's experience, because they're all trying to make the best show that they possibly can at all times. It had everything to do with the fact that the smoothness of a temporarily dead or temporarily somewhere else Spencer went away. And by the time the strike was over, they had used up that time on the contract. We'll say there was only a year left now.
Mm-hmm.
This, that, the other stuff that's just not cohesive, not cohesive to our storytelling based off of how off the rails it got.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes down to it, we're not evil, vindictive people, Nicholas Chavez. This is an incredible opportunity for you. We are not going to force you back onto our set to satisfy a year of a contract that you're not going to re-sign, and we're going to have to kill off the character again anyway. That's how I see it. And I think the facts back it up.
I think so. Makes sense, Matt. What you said makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Perfect sense.
Yeah, it was the strike and Nick Chavez getting popular. You know, having huge opportunities in front of him.
Actually, and I think Prospect Park, I have to give them some credit for, when opportunities come these actors' ways, they don't try to stifle them and stand in the way. They don't, which is good. We celebrate people's, accomplishments, and opportunities.
Yeah, we should. We should applaud people who've made the next step up, and you can consider yourself a big fish in a small pond of Soapland. But Soapland's a small pond, y'all. It really is. Once you get out of that and into the ocean, you can see what it's really like, and also see what can be really achieved, and that should be applauded. If you're Wally Kurth and you love your daytime regime because you've been doing it for so long, and you like waking up and going to work and having a bunch of days off, and this is like a teacher with no stress or less stress. More power to you. But if you've got ambition beyond that rigid 9 to 5 Monday through Friday acting schedule and want to get out there into feature films and multi-million-dollar contracts and franchises, do it.
He wants to be part of that Hollywood that don't need that side hustle.
Yeah. He wants to be. Yeah. If I have a side hustle, my side hustle is the Ryan Reynolds way of doing things, where I just buy entire companies. That's what he wants. They got fired with a certain section of the fandom, both black and white fans, says Daisy. Absolutely. And Twitter is a Sprina fest, as Daisy concludes, and that's absolutely true as well. It's not anywhere stronger than on Twitter. Yeah. More power to it. I'm happy that people were satisfied. I'm sorry that people aren't satisfied with the rest of the show. But also at the same time, when it comes to the art form of soaps, I'm happy that they came on for their little bump in the ride that they had with the couple that they enjoyed. But if they can't sink their teeth into the other offerings of soaps, then they weren't necessarily really soap fans. They were Sprina fans, and cool, I'm sorry the rest of it wasn't to your liking, but I like it. I don't know what to say. I think it's fun.
Yep.
Ah, spew. What? Oh, they're talking about Trina and Drew dating. Oh,
Oh gosh, Uncle Slimy, no.
not Uncle Slimy. That's the new one. That's what
Uncle
it's going to be.
Slimy, that's Uncle Slimy.
I say take the chances while the youth is on your side, says Chandra. When you get a certain age and have dipped your toe in the water, you can appreciate a constant, predictable income. There you go. There you go. I'm with it too. Yeah. Constant and predictable is great.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy.
Sabrina says, okay, I buy everything you're saying. So why is Trina only on for 2 minutes since Nicholas's death? Well, she's been on for more than 2 minutes. If we're going to make an argument, Sabrina, I really implore us to do it in true, real facts and not hyperbole and exaggeration. Like she's only been on for 2 minutes. She gets perspective. She gets point of view. We know exactly what's going on in Trina's life, which is nothing, which is why we don't see her very much because she's not doing anything. And that is the point. We
But
talked about
that's
it
not,
earlier.
it's not going to remain that way.
No, we talked about it earlier with the whole Geo situation.
It's not going to remain that way.
Yeah, we already talked about the huge possibilities that exist for Trina. We just need to get there.
Yeah.
So be patient with it.
Yeah.
Be patient.
I agree with you. I agree with you because I want Trina on my screen. I agree with you, but we have to go through this little lull weird thing. Arc is an arc.
Yeah.
An arc.
It arc. So it starts down, right? Imagine the arches, the golden arches from McDonald's. Take one of them away. You just get one. The brotherly love, the brother thing in Philly, right? Arc.
Yeah.
Okay. It starts low, hits high,
Yes.
ends low.
Yes.
That's an arc. Right now, Sprina was the arc. Low, gets high. Now it's low. Getting ready for the next Trina arc. It's low right now. It'll get high, and then when that's finished, it'll get low again. Really, the only person that avoids the up and down, there's two characters on GH that consistently and constantly hit the arc and immediately bounce back up into a new one, and immediately bounce back up into a new one, and that's Sunny and Carly. Those are the only two characters on the show that bounce immediately into something new. Jason came in, bounced his return arc. He's low again. Until the thing pops off of Pikeman, in which that new arc is going to bounce. So Trina's facing the same thing. When it comes to who's responsible, Corte hates her. No, I just don't believe that. I don't have any facts to disprove you, but you don't have any facts to prove me either. So I'm just not with it.
I just hope that the arc that she is going to have, I hope it's good. And I hope we all really enjoy it. But, Trina, there's more to Trina than Spencer, and I'm all ready to see it.
Yeah. Yeah. There. Yeah. Totally with it. 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 I'm with it. Am I with it, Mom? I am.
I think you're with it.
I am. Victoria says, #reunite Sprina. And yeah, I'm not saying don't. I'm saying wait. But I said that a couple of times. I think you guys know what I was trying to say here. Yes, and Tabiana Ali says Chandra could also have had vacation time in her contract too. She deserves a break as well. That's also very true. She's been working hard nonstop for years under the Sprina story. All right, folks, go back into the monthly breakdowns of the episode counts. While everybody was lamenting Carly and Nina having the most episodes, if you look at number freaking 5, it was Trina. She was working almost just as much as they were. Down for the yearly counts by like 20 or 30 episodes alone, which is only 1 month out of 11 that she didn't work as much as everybody else on average. You know what I mean? So yeah, Chandra, I think that you're right as well. Like sometimes these actors need a break, especially when they play emotional, powerful beats. She's been through so much.
Yes. And General Hospital and soap operas film with such aggressive pace.
Yeah. Give people breaks. I
think it's good actually that soap operas are written in a way now where they do have these longer breaks, these 2 and 3 week breaks where you can do some regular life as well. And not just, you don't have, you put cruise control in your car, knows exactly where to go to Prospect. It's nice to get away from that.
Right. Well, Melissa says that Nina also bounces into new arcs, and I disagree with that slightly. Nina's really, right now, she has not really bounced into anything new yet.
No, not really. The only thing she bounced to is the floor.
Yeah, and that's it, you know. So if you're talking about bouncing on men, then yeah, of course she's always bouncing on somebody, but it's a soap. So hopefully those contributions were okay enough for those who I was talking. Sabrina, sorry, let me find the name because I wanted to say it correctly. Hopefully those responses were made sense to Sabrina and stuff. You know, it's a lot easier to talk about this stuff like with my voice than limited to 250 characters on Twitter. That's for sure. That's for
Mhm.
sure. Plus, you can hear my tone and my honesty. Let's see. Exactly. Tabiana only was on 1 to 2 days during the height of Sprina. Fans would have been ticked too. Let the actress be. There you go. There you go. Anyway, what do you think, Ma? I feel like that's a good podcast.
I think that's a good podcast too. The one thing that I just thought of is completely separate, but
Yeah, of course.
I thought about the scene with Carly and Molly, and
Yeah.
I kind of had to chuckle when Carly says, "And if you try to do something with the ADA, if you try to do something, I will not recollect a thing I've said."
Yeah. It's just so good sometimes, Ma. It's just so good. Some of the lines that they have these people say, and then when the actors are like particularly inspired by the scene or what they're saying, and they bring their best out too, and it's just it's so good. Oh, good. Sabrina and I on a good terms. Thanks, Sabrina, for the good chat on that. It's good to get into the nitty gritty sometimes with this stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think
Bridgerton
that's my
time
last
for
one.
Melissa. So go and enjoy those shows. What's up, Ma?
I think that is my last thought, though.
Okay. All right, let's get on the elevator, folks. Let's get off the 10th floor, okay? For a hospital show, we ain't hospitaling right now, so we're getting the hell out of here. Can Uncle Victor sign off with the closing announcements, please? 10th floor podcast, says Chandra. Well, get
He
onto
say
this
yes.
elevator. Go back down to the first floor, children, because it's quite dangerous around here, but I will keep you safe. I, Victor Cassadine, have made sure that my bodyguards, my snipers, are positioned on top of all of the parking garages nearby. You will be safe, I promise you, as you get into your cars. Turn your radios to previous episodes of the 10th floor, which you can find on all of your favorite podcasting platforms. If you can't find it on your favorite podcasting platform, reach out to me on Twitter at 10th floor GH, and I will send you in the right direction. Natty fine. Like the video if you haven't subscribed to the channel. It's absolutely free. Or I will send a deadly virus to your hometown. Oh gosh, go spend some time with your families. I've been Matt.
And I've been Kat.
And I'm Victor Cassadine, and we'll see you next week right here on the 10th floor. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.